Beautiful. And we should be live. So welcome everybody to our official kickoff webinar for Q4. I am Gabe Strom here in Chicago, Illinois, joined by my partner, Grant Dunn from East Wenatchee, Washington. And we are live on Zoom, and we are also live on YouTube. So if we fill up this Zoom room, which we've over-registered, Grant, for this webinar, we had close to like 180 people register. And I believe our Zoom room only holds 100 people. So but hey, man, you ready to jam? You excited about tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Let's get to it.
Very cool. Well, let me show my screen, man. Let me know if you can see my screen. And I'll pull up YouTube as well. Very good, man. You see my screen?
I do not.
You do not?
No.
Okay, 1 second here. Very anticlimactic way to start a webinar, you know. Let me go ahead and do this. Can you guys see it? Let me jump out of here and jump into chat. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a yes here, if you can. Gary says no. So let's do this first then. How about we do this? And how about we do this? And how about we do this?
Starting to work. Yeah, I think we're good. Danny confirms. We're ready to go.
Cool. We're good, G. Well, if you can pull up and let me pull up in the chat here in a separate window so I can keep this going live. And then Grant, if you want to, or Danny, maybe if Danny can pull up the conversation on YouTube, if you could just kind of monitor that conversation, then we'll jam, man. John says, I see you. Stephanie says, yes, 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 yes. Very good. So awesome. Well, welcome everybody to our official Black Friday, Cyber Monday training webinar. This is our kickoff webinar. OA Cheddar is official. We're calling it All Things and Everything Else Q4 Selling. So we want to tee you guys off and set you up right. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I mentioned this in the pre-show. We've got a lot of awesome content, training, and years of experience at doing this that Grant's going to be sharing with us tonight. So grab a piece of paper and a pen and be taking notes because we're going to be dropping nuggets all night. If you guys have any idea what we have planned for you guys for Q4, you would probably jump out of your chair right now. And that's, I'm not just saying that. We're literally giving you guys the farm this year. We're like rolling out the red carpet. Grant, every lead that Cheddar has, all the training, all the strategies, we're just giving it all to you guys. And we want to front end load that with you. And that's why I'm so excited, man. You pumped, dude?
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. We're giving it away. It's all on the table this year.
So here's our agenda tonight, guys. We won't do any fancy introductions. I'll just introduce my partner here, Grant Dunn, 7-figure Amazon seller, previous plumber, I should say, in a previous life, 7 years ago, made the transition to full-time Amazon seller. Took you 3 years, made the transition to a 7-figure seller, and you're in a nice, healthy 6-figure income, working from home. You get to be with your kids now. You've really made a major transition in your life. And we actually created Cheddar, for those of you guys that are new to the group. We created Cheddar out of a necessity. And a couple of years ago, we had a coaching program, a group that we were working with, and Grant noticed, hey, a lot of these new sellers are gated in a lot of categories. I don't know if any of you guys can relate. And so we said, hey, how can we start getting some leads for these people to help them get ungated? And so that's actually where Cheddar was born. It's grown tremendously over the past couple of years. We're very grateful for what's happening in our community. And now being peak season, we're bringing the heat for you guys because this is the time to be buying. This is the time that makes or breaks a lot of y'all's years. So our agenda for today, very quickly, key Q4 dates. We're going to get you guys teed up on the calendar. We're going to talk about the core retail arbitrage strategy and online arbitrage strategy. So it's a combination of both. And most of what we're going to talk about tonight, Grant, you'll be able to fill us in, really applies to both. Right. So if you're doing any kind of arbitrage, the strategies we're going to talk about apply to both. And then lastly, we're just going to tell you right now, go ahead and mark your calendar. I'm going to tell you up front. Grant, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to spill the beans right up front with the release date of our Black Friday list because I know y'all are going to be asking for it. It's probably the first question we're going to get in the webinar. So next Friday, October the 11th, mark your calendar. We're going to be talking more about that. We'll be releasing the Black Friday list on a first come, first serve basis to a limited number of sellers. And this year we've gone above and beyond what we've ever done in the past. And we'll talk about that today. So we're going to talk about that at the end for those of you guys that are interested in the list. For today, Grant, I want to talk about who this webinar is for very quickly. This is for retail arbitrage sellers. This is for online arbitrage sellers. And this is for intermediate to advanced Amazon sellers. So that doesn't mean if you're a beginner, you can't learn things. We all have to start from somewhere. Just that the information and the nuggets that Grant, you're going to share really are best applied if you have some capital, you have some skill. Those of you guys that have been around, this is your second, third Q4, you're in the position where you can really take this information and run. If it's your first year, Grant, we're going to talk a little bit about first years in Q4, what to expect. Hopefully this webinar will kind of demystify that for you, but we all had to start from somewhere. And Grant, you guys did 300 grand plus last peak season. Do you remember how much you sold your first Q4? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It was, I think you were mentioning this earlier. It's like my sixth Q4, so it's hard to remember all the way that far back. But it had to have been around like 25 or 30,000 bucks.
Yeah, mine was less than that. I think I sold like 8 grand or something. I don't know. It was something super small. So we all start from somewhere. Even if you sell a couple $1,000, you learn and you build, and that's how you grow this business. So. Hey, before we start, okay, we have the intention of our training here, guys, is to empower you to have the best peak season selling ever. So in order to do that, you could go run around with a dull axe, but our good friend Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Okay, so tonight's webinar is our version in our world of sharpening the axe. So you can sharpen your axe, and that way you're not just running out in the jungle of products. I don't know how many of you guys can relate. Feels like there's so many products to buy. It feels overwhelming. You're like, where do I start? We want to help you focus. And one of our key core values for this year's list, Grant, and you can probably speak into this, is quality. So all the leads, last year we focused on both. We focused on quantity of leads and quality, and we had massive amounts of leads. This year we're focusing just on quality. So you want to speak into that real quick, man?
Yeah, I mean, we've never had a complaint before, but one of the things that, I've taken a lot of risks in my business in the past. And sometimes, and I really kind of take those risks up front to kind of help our community out, right? If I can take the risk and figure out what works, then I can teach. And so in the past, I've done kind of a blanket strategy and really kind of tried a lot of different things. And I think what I want to focus on this year is just really bringing out the quality of the list. We may still have, some stuff that's not premium, but we'll be shoving that to the bottom of the list so that it doesn't really take too much of the spotlight. We really want to focus on the stuff that's going to win for everybody this season, and make that be the priority.
Quality stuff this year. So cool, man. Well, let's get into the content. We've got a lot of ground. We're planning on going for about 90 minutes tonight, guys. We'll probably get through our content in about 60 minutes, and then we're planning to stick around for a few minutes to engage with you and answer questions. So plan on spending some time. We're doing this webinar today, and we're doing one final free webinar next Tuesday to get you prepped right before our list releases. So some preseason preparations. Grant, I'll let you kind of speak into these, man, because this is part of your content here. So what about the person who's starting with, I'm going to just play devil's advocate, person who's starting off and you got a limited budget. And I don't, whether that means I got 10 grand, 20 grand, 40 grand, like, I've got something, I don't have a rich uncle. I don't have like millions of dollars to throw at this business. So what's a good way to get some capital for Q4?
Yeah,
I think that's the first question everybody asks, how do I get some money, right?
Right. I mean, everybody has some dead weight in their inventory unless they are super diligent about liquidating stuff that's not moving. And I think that this is a good time of the year. Like if you are, some of us have, additional budget that we can reach into. Those that don't obviously have inventory, right? And if you got dead weight inventory, I think this is a really great time to like cut prices. If you can break even on it and recollect that, that inventory capital back, this is a good time to do that. So you can buy inventory that's going to, be bigger gains through the Q4 season.
Yeah, so this is something I noticed. So if you got dead inventory, just cut it, sell it, have a fire sale, free up that capital so you can reinvest it into better inventories. That's probably the easiest way. As an Amazon seller, we all have that portion of our business. It's like the 80-20 rule. So you guys go in there and you guys do it even further, Grant. You guys have like a yard sale, don't you? Once or twice a year where you guys sell stuff in person?
Yeah, scratch and dent stuff. I mean, that's kind of our liquidation strategy we do every year. But this season, I'll be going in probably in the next couple of weeks and really pushing out inventory that's just been stagnant. Maybe it's been in my store for 6 months or longer. That's the stuff I want to get rid of so I can just raise some capital to buy better inventory for really through November primarily. So
here's the first big gold nugget I want to give you guys. Okay, this applies to Grant and I are going to be dropping nuggets on you guys all night. This is all of our years of experience. So this applies to this business and other businesses that in life, and I've learned this, Grant, you can attest. When in a business opportunity, when you need capital, there's no shortage of capital. There's a shortage of creativity.
Right.
Okay. Now, what I mean by this, I'm encountering this, for example, in our private label business. I don't know if you mind me sharing, Graham, but I did our projections for Q4. My projections for inventory was between 45 and 50 grand of inventory, of which I didn't have liquid capital. So by looking at that problem, I could have, figured out, how do I go get more money? But we said, how do I invest in, basically, we just broke down our purchase orders into smaller pieces. Instead of doing 5,000 units, we're going to do 1,000 and 2,000 and do a combo of air and different things. So that changed the whole piece. We didn't need 50,000. I need a little bit here, and kind of chunks. So I share this story with you guys. There's no shortage of capital. There's a shortage of creativity, and you got to get creative. And one of the ways to get creative is to say, I'm only going to focus on very fast turning, highly profitable inventory. Anything that's outside of that scope, Grant, you guys are experts at this. You guys, your store is turning how fast are you guys turning your store still? Are you still around the 30-day mark?
Yeah, I mean, we turn 100% roughly, or 70 to 100% of our inventory every 30 days. So whatever our inventory level is, we're turning the majority of that in volume, sales volume, every 30 days. But I have stuff that, we buy a lot of clothing and shoes, as I've been talking about lately. And, some of that stuff lasts. It stays, in our store for quite a while, but we have enough of that fast turning inventory that we're able to, sell quite a bit of volume every month.
Yeah. So lesson 1, free up loose inventory. Let's go through a couple other things here in preseason.
Here you go.
Let's talk about one of the elephants in the room, man. Borrowing for inventory. What's your thoughts on borrowing for inventory?
Yeah, we flushed this idea out, through some conversations earlier this week. And one of the mistakes that I feel like I've made in the past is really borrowing more money than my team and systems could handle. And so I was kind of incentivized, or that led us to, buy inventory that was a little more risky, right? And so what I would encourage everybody to do is look at your store. If you're normally spending, let's say, well, for example, in my case, I'm spending $44,000 a month consistently, month after month. That's what we're putting into our store. That's how we're replenishing. I'm probably not going to pull off more than maybe another $20,000 to $30,000 for just this Q4, because I don't want to overwhelm my team and overwhelm my systems and make mistakes as a result and buy inventory that's not as good, right? I think when you have an inventory budget that is a little bit lower and a little bit more within your means, it forces you to buy better stuff. And that's what we really want to encourage everybody to do.
So I hope this is sinking in for some of you guys, because there's this stress in our industry where you get freaked out. I'm supposed to be buying, you think I'm supposed to be doing something else. I see Grant spending 44. I'm supposed to be doing that. And people overextend themselves. Maybe they only have 5, 10 grand, 15 grand of working capital. So our humble advice to give you guys peace is use the capital you have, liquidate to free up more capital, use the cash that you have and prosper. And then if you are going to use leverage, and we're all grown up, so this is, you got to make your own decisions. We would humbly recommend, don't overextend yourself more than 50% of what your current monthly budget is. So if you're spending 10 grand a month, as a simple example, for Q4, go spend 15. If you want that risk tolerance. If you don't, just spend your 10, but spend it better on better product. I think that's the key, Grant, right? You don't have to, you can get more done, create more leverage, go farther, get more profit by buying the right things. It's not about buying, I don't know how many SKUs you guys have, but it's not about buying a million things, it's about buying the right product. So we want to key in on that this year and share some of that stuff with you. So we're talking about this right now. If you have a budget, whatever your budget is, set your budget in advance, know that. So you're going to the battlefield, know what's in know what weapons you got in your shield, and then optimize your sourcing accordingly. We're going to talk about that today. And lastly, this is a very simple concept, Grant. I think it'll help everybody. The more leads you have, the more choices you have. The more choices you have, the more selective you can be about inventory. So for example, if you're the RA seller and you're only going into Walmart and only sourcing Walmart, you're missing out on everything else. And you're gonna find ways to spend your budget on products that maybe you shouldn't buy, versus the seller who has a bunch of lead lists, has access to Lowe's and all these different stores. You're gonna have a better season. So hey, let's get into the calendar stuff, man. I want to move this right along. I'll let you kind of walk us through the season, man. And we're really skipping. We're in October now, so our lead list is dropping on Friday, October 11th. So that's the month before. And you guys are already buying for Q4. So start maybe with today. What are you guys doing today, OA, RA, as you're prepping for Q4?
Yeah, so we'll get into kind of the strategy a little bit more as we get through more slides. But right now we're just, we have Q4 in mind. We're thinking about what November is going to look like and what December is going to look like. And really it's interesting, and I'll talk about this a little bit today. My whole focus for the holiday selling season and the Q4 season is really the Black Friday week, right? Because I feel like that is the peak of the season. It used to be where I felt like the peak was like in early December, and I actually recognized that in my store in the past, and that's how I used to prepare. And I sort of ignored the value of Black Friday week and that influx of customers and just the amount of people coming and shopping on Amazon. But I started to figure out, especially in 2017, and then I adjusted in 2018, that the big week is this week. And so we're already preparing and we're already looking a little bit deeper at items that we're scanning in the store. Obviously, Taylor is my shopper. So when he's out there, he's looking at leads a little bit differently, where normally, it's quick denial. If something doesn't make sense, I'm going to dump it. I'm going to scan the next thing. Well, the difference between this season is when we look at something and it has potential, right? We're going to look at it deeper. And that's the real ticket. Your inventory opportunity this season can really expand. If sourcing for you has been difficult, because you're new, because you're restricted or whatever, the cool thing is you can start looking at the potential of an item. Now, granted, there needs to be some early signs, and we'll be talking about that, but look at the potential, and you might be able to buy some stuff that you normally would leave on the shelf or leave, not order, and you can buy it and hold it for a few weeks and sell it during Black Friday week or into December. So that's what we're doing now, all the way through early November. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of like early Black Friday sales in the first part of November. And then right here on the 14th and the 15th, I have this picture of it's like a home built out of a shipping,
it's a window
crate or whatever. Yeah, it's a window. And so what I'm showing here, for me, the window of opportunity to ship stuff into FBA to sell during Black Friday is pretty much coming to a close around the 15th because of where I live. It takes so long for my stuff to get checked in. Some of you, that window is going to start to close around the 19th or 20th. And again, the window I'm talking about is getting inventory into FBA before Black Friday, so you can sell it during that season, during that week. Obviously, yep. Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off, man. So this is the first. This is really aside from the list opening the 11th, this is the next important date. Is this November 15th? So you're buying from today all the way through November 15th to get. And that's when our best bet is to have your inventory in for that. So Black Friday is actually late this week too, Grant. So it's a week later than it usually is. So though we look at Black Friday not as just Black Friday, but Grant, like you're talking about, the whole Black Friday week. There's going to be online arbitrage deals all week. There's going to be early store leaks, and we'll talk about that. We look more specifically at that Monday, and then Tuesday the 26th, Wednesday the 27th. Thursday the 28th is Black Thursday, which happens to be also my birthday. So I won't forget that this year. My birthday's on Black Thursday. And then the day after is Black Friday on the 29th. So it's a little bit later this year. So, and we're giving you guys this. You've got an earlier season. So if, last year, if you felt like you were scrambling for a couple of weeks, you've got several weeks now to be pumping your inventory up. And anything else, man, you'd say about November sourcing?
Again, it's just you're thinking about the potential of products. You're looking at Kiba graphs a little bit more. You're just looking a little bit deeper. If you see something, for example, here's a good way to look at this. Normally, we would put something down if it only has like a 20% ROI and is going to make like a $3 bill. But if there's already some profit in early November or late October, go look at the Kiba graph. Go look at the last year of history. Look at what's happening over the last 90 days and the last 30 days. Because if you see a trend happening and the price is starting to go up and maybe supply is starting to go down, we'll talk more about this. Be mindful. You might want to buy that even though it doesn't meet your normal standards, because it's going to meet your normal standards. In fact, it very well may exceed them, right? And we'll talk about that a little bit more.
So that's good to know. Let me ask, what do you see with prices as a whole, Grant? If someone's newer if you got a $20 item, what do you see in that $20 item sell for in Q4?
That's sorry, that's sort of like a loaded question. I'm not really sure what
I'm just curious if you see, like in our PL space, I've been raising my prices slowly and I haven't seen my rank affected at all. So do you see higher prices, higher prices throughout the board in Q4?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Through November and even into December, I'm going to be micro analyzing, especially like my toys, especially items that I know are very seasonal. And again, toys is a big one because of the season, because of the gifts under the tree. And so I actually tag all of this. This is a good tip. We might as well throw this out. I tag, and I have been all year. This is something new that I started doing. Every single toy I put into my store, I give it, or that I check into my repricer, I give it a toy tag, because I want to know where all my toys are so that I can quickly sort my repricer with all my toy listings. And I can start looking at those Kiba graphs and going, you know what, I can make a $3 bill now, but I might be able to make an $8 bill in 2 weeks. I'm going to hold this son of a gun, right? I'm going to wait until the picking is just right. And that's what Black Friday week is for me, I believe.
Okay. So we'll go into more of the details. We're going to really peel the curtain back, Grant, on your business and show what you guys are buying. I mean, I don't think you've ever revealed this publicly, to the best of my knowledge, like exactly what you're buying, the brands, the stores. You're going to peel it back. What's up, guys? John Hilton. So cool. So let's go into December, man. So we turn the corner. Cyber Monday this year is in December. Usually it's in November. So it's kind of a weird thing. So that's on that Tuesday, the 2nd. And what are you guys doing? How are you sourcing? And Grant, we can talk more about Black Friday because you guys, Taylor's going to be going out. Are you guys going to be doing both RA and OA kind of throughout the season, or what are you doing different on Cyber Monday?
Because OA is all week long. I mean, Monday, maybe probably at least by Tuesday, we're going to be shopping online Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way into Cyber Monday, right? So online shopping is going to be hot for the whole entire week. Obviously, we're going to be in the stores on Thursday night, and we'll be in the stores on Friday morning, right? It really just depends on how fast we exhaust the budget. Last year, we spent $8,000 in our first store, right? So it was like,
back up on sourcing on Black Friday.
Sourcing on Black Friday, we went to one store. We had already spent a big part of our budget online before Thursday. We went into the store on Thursday. We were there when it opened. $8,000 out the door. We were like, all right, we're good. We had already exhausted so much of our budget on the internet. We didn't have enough for the stores. We were like, wow, okay, we need more money next time.
Okay.
So
you're doing that. That answers the question. A lot of people want to know, should I do RA? Should I do OA? And the answer is yes. The answer is you got to come up with a plan for yourself. How much time do you have? Are you approaching it as a solopreneur, or are you like Grant? Do you have teams? Do you have sourcing agents that can go out with you? So Grant, your brother Taylor's been working with you for several years now. He's been your right-hand man, so he probably knows more about sourcing probably than you do at this point. He's out there in the field on a daily basis. And so you don't have a huge team, though. It's just you and Taylor, and then one prep person, Charles, right? Still just the three of you guys?
Yep.
So, and you guys you'll do $1 million plus. You know what you'll finish at in sales this year? Do you know what you're projecting?
I think we just broke, or we're just short of $1 million already. So we're probably going to be 1.3 to 1.5. But I'm going to shoot for 1.5. We'll see. Last year, I'll show you my numbers for last year, and we'll kind of see where we land.
Yeah, we'll go through it here. Quick question.
Let's finish the schedule too before we.
So, yes, let's turn the corner here. Gary, I see your question. We'll come back to that here in a second. So
after Cyber Monday, right? I technically, like, when I get into December, I start to think about 2020. I start to think about the next year. And the reason why, again, is my stuff takes a while for FBA. So unless, and obviously people are going to be, inundating FBA on a high level, and, usually Amazon gets backed up. They've been getting better and better every year, where they've been able to check in stuff a little bit quicker, even in the middle of December. So, play it by ear. But one of the things that I'll be focusing on December is stuff that I can merchant fulfill, right? So if I can find an item that I can merchant fulfill, I can buy it, I can, list it while I'm in the store or on the way home, and I can sell it and ship it to the customer. Then I'm gonna fill up my payouts. I can be doing that, by the way, all through November. So merchant fulfill is a good opportunity. Just be thinking about that, right? Be thinking about merchant fulfilling through December. If you feel like you're running out of time to get it for FBA, do an MF. When we get to the 19th, right? That's where I'm feeling like it's time to sell, right? So all through December, these first 3 weeks, we're playing with I'll be playing with my repricer every single day, looking at my SKUs, deciding what to do. Am I going to pull the trigger now? Am I going to wait, right? Am I going to wait until the 19th or the 20th to sell my stuff off? And again, be thinking about how quickly are customers getting their products. Sometimes, maybe by the 20th, depending on how backed up Amazon is, if they buy on the 20th or the 21st, they may not get it before Christmas. We got to be mindful of that, right? So that's why I said on the 19th, this might be the beginning of the sell week, right? Where you just got to get rid of it. And then obviously we have Christmas Day, where, that's where Black Friday, the Q4, the holiday selling season, it sort of falls flat. right? We don't see a whole lot of sales during the holiday itself. But then as we come out of Christmas and get into the following week and early part of January, things really start to pick up again. And we got 2 really solid weeks in January. But my opinion is, if you bought something at full price retail and you plan to sell it during the holiday selling season, do not hold it after the 19th, 20th. You're just playing with fire, and you're going to watch. And I'm going to tell you what, one thing that I've noticed, see, in the past, before last year and 2017, it always felt like prices continued to incline all the way through December. In the past 2 years, I've watched prices incline up to the Black Friday week. We get through Black Friday week, and then it starts to go like this. So that's why I'll be kind of hustling pretty tough, pushing my stuff out this first week of December, especially if I start to see, the price start to erode a little bit.
So short answer, you're pushing real hard, getting stuff sent in until the middle of November. Come Cyber Monday, you're already sourcing. I mean, you're kind of sourcing downhill for next year, basically. Yes. You're going to start selling everything that you have in your store. I mean, are you trying to get rid of everything before Christmas, like sell out?
I mean, I'm not gonna sacrifice, my profitability on stuff that I know will sell eventually. But if I bought it for Q4, I'm getting rid of it. Right?
You're aggressive.
And that's what we're really talking about today. We shop differently leading up into December than we do any other time of the year.
Yeah. Quick question, then we'll move on here. John said, when placing orders online during the week leading up to Black Friday, what are some tricks to get bigger order quantities? So if you get limited by a handful, do you guys just go wide, or do you do any fancy stuff with VPNs or anything? Or
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we're so aggressive with lead gen. We don't really worry about quantity limits. Right. We just buy more of different stuff.
You just go wider. Yeah.
The other thing is you can, if something is hot, try to place a second order, try to place a third order. Hopefully you don't get booted. But you're kind of playing with fire. Otherwise, just space out your purchasing.
Yeah. You mentioned toys and games. Bruce had a good tip for the community here. He said, you might want to remind everyone that the toy and game requirements for merchant fulfilled this year are 25 merchant fulfilled orders between August 15th and October 15th. Can you confirm that? Or
I wish I would have read up on that. I saw a couple posts on my newsfeed and didn't catch up on it. In the past, it was 25 sales in the toys and games category, and it didn't matter if it was FBA or merchant fulfilled, but it sounds like now it does matter.
Okay. Gary's saying that's correct. So yeah, for toys and games, you've got to have some kind of sales volume on your accounts for the merchant fulfilled strategy that Grant, you're talking about. We're going to talk about that on next week's webinar. Actually, we've got a whole strategy dedicated to how to crush this merchant fulfilled stuff. So we're taking this week to teach high level, and then we'll go through that next week. So
I see. Tracy says it's 25 MF in any field.
So just merchant fulfill anything 25 by October 15th. So you got a couple weeks. So you got a couple weeks to get your merchant fulfill on. Go watch some YouTube videos on how to do that. So real quick, we'll go to this next one. And while Grant, get all excited, flipping through all the slides. That's me. We want to show you guys to learn from Grant's history. So this was Grant, you're 2 years ago. Gary was asking, this is a perfect question. You guys have a store, everybody has business strategies. What % are you retail ARB versus online ARB? Like in the holidays, how do you allocate your budget?
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to definitely be doing more online arbitrage through November than normal. But throughout the better part of the year, we're like 90% retail arbitrage. I've got really solid systems. Taylor enjoys retail arbitrage. We're good at it. One of the things that we do have in mind is scaling our store in 2020 with OA. But Gabe and I were talking about this. I've been putting so much into our private label brand that I don't talk a whole lot about yet. But that's pretty much where all of my scaling has gone, is into our private label. And eventually we'll start scaling up the arbitrage business again, but really focused on the brand.
So it's personal. I mean, Grant, and this is, you have access to you're like the master list holder. So you have all of the leads that Cheddar produces. And so you guys source off the list, the same way. And you're in an area, you're in Wenatchee, where it's difficult to do retail arbitrage. So you guys got to make those decisions for yourself. Is there any benefit, Grant, that you see in 2019 doing, do you have less competition with RA versus OA, or what do you see as the difference in your inventory?
That is an absolute factor. And one of the reasons why we continue to do retail arbitrage is because it's also regional arbitrage, right?
It's regional. Yeah.
By the way, I just thought of that. So, no, but it's regional arbitrage, and that's the difference. I mean, online arbitrage, we got to, you're not just buying off of a list that Cheddar customers are looking at, but some of our leads are going to be found by other lead list providers, and there's a lot of other online arbitrage people out there sourcing their own leads and doing that work on their own. So competition is a little bit more fierce with OA than what we see with RA, but it comes with the territory. With OA, you can sit at home, right? You can do it after work with your PC on your lap. With RA, you got to hit the streets, you got to work hard. So it's a little bit it comes with the territory.
Yeah. So that's just full transparency. You guys have to make those business decisions for yourself. How much time do you have for this Q4 and how much capital do you have? These are the two resources, and you can get more. Well, you can't get more time. You can always create more capital, and you can always get more people that have time. So actually you can multiply time. Like Grant, you multiply your time by having Taylor go out, and you guys can cover twice as much territory. So hey, let's just show some, let's just show what's happened for you guys the last couple of years. So this is 2017, full transparency. So this is your November and December sales. You're looking at 175 grand in sales. You guys run, Grant, you were telling me offline, 20 to 25% gross margin. Is that fairly accurate?
Yeah, gross margin. Yep.
That's real conservative numbers for where you guys are at. And then after, that's before your overhead. So after paying yourself, and you guys pay yourself a salary, you pay Taylor, like net profit to the business for you guys, and your business model is right around 10%.
Yes, right around 10%. That's what we take as owners.
That's your ownership take. So, and that's really conservative. That's not fancy. And that's just to give some of you guys some idea. That's why, Grant, you've harped on this for years with some of our TAP clients of you've got to get your store to a certain level before things start clicking. So what is that magic number that you found when you were scaling from like,
I like $30,000 a month, man.
30,000 a month. And what happens with 30,000 a month?
Well, you're you're pulling off, $3,000 a month is, if you're making like a 25% margin, you're looking at, $7,500 a month. That's enough to pay for, your first employee and pay yourself $60,000 a year. Right. And so I just think that's kind of like the holy grail. I've seen where, when you're at a smaller scale, it's harder to be profitable because your expenses are what they are. And obviously it's just like any other business. As you scale, your profits get bigger.
So that's kind of the second big nugget, we'll share tonight. And this was a big, I know that was a big eye opener for me the first time that I learned this and this came up. So that should be your first goal, getting there. And then you can scale from there from 30,000 to 100,000. What's it take to grow in that scale from your perspective?
It takes teams. It takes a team. It takes employees. It takes systems, right?
And systems. Okay.
Yeah. And knowledge. I paid a lot of money, right? It's, paid for, we don't just sell stuff, you guys. Like we actually bought a lot of different programs, and we bought a lot of different leads and stuff like that in order to get the knowledge that we needed to be able to scale the store. And so there was times when it was challenging. In fact, you're kind of seeing me come out of some pretty challenging times in that 2017 graph. It was a challenging season, made some big mistakes, some expensive mistakes. And so we learned from it. Obviously in the following year, 2018, the goal was to do, I remember actually I was watching our webinar from last year, and the goal was to do 300 grand. That was what we were like, we're going to do 300 grand between November and December. And we did exactly that. So that was cool. And we were more profitable.
So 300 grand. So a cool $30,000 in extra profits. That's like your Christmas bonus. And then what are you guys, what's your intention for this year? Since you're going to watch this webinar in 2020 for peak season.
Here's the thing is I have not been scaling my store. We rinse and repeat. We've been spending $44,000 a month on average, and it might be a little different. It could be 45 on average now for 2 years running, all of 2018, part of 2017, and all of this year, 2019. We have stuck to the exact same system, rinse and repeat, and that's just been working. And we're just pulling any extra and putting that into other stuff. So
here's knowledge drop number 3. Okay, if you guys are writing these down, we're just going to drop them all night long here. Okay, when you have success, do that again. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna just let this one sink in, let it sink in. I didn't get this for a long time, Grant. This is the simplest advice I could probably give somebody. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we have success and then we're like, oh, let's go do it this way. And you change it and you veer off from what already works. So if something's working, if it worked last year, I'm talking to John, all you guys that have been around the block, just do that again. So Grant, you guys are in a season, you're not in hyper growth mode. You're comfortable. You've kind of toned it back. You mentioned 2017 being a real tough year. There's a lot of things people don't know behind the scenes. You guys probably overextended, borrowed stuff you shouldn't have, and just got into tricky times, but you pushed through it. 2018, you had a better year. This year, you're having a great year. I'd be curious, your profit this year versus last year is probably going to be night and day different, because you guys are just focusing on good stuff. You're staying in your lane and you're just doing what's working, and you're not super stressed out. I don't see you like crazy stressed about Q4 this year. You're just like cruising the ship.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. I mean, like we talked about at the beginning of the call, we're focused on quality over quantity, and I think that's going to have a great return. One thing I want to, go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, one thing I'll point out in this graph too is if you look at the blue line, that is going to be, the red line, that is 2017. You can see where I was talking about how I used to play the game all about mid-December. It was all about this big peak in mid-December. But even though I played, because that had worked for me in previous years, but it didn't work as well as it was supposed to in 2017. And so you can see how I adjusted my strategy. And you're looking at Black Friday, Cyber Monday. That's where I have my big peaks, and that's because I played a different strategy. It worked really well, and that's what I'm going to be teaching this year. So,
yes, and we are going to get into the strategy, guys. We're set the table. Okay, so you're just hang out with us tonight. If you guys haven't been to our Q4 webinars, we're just going to hang out, have a good time tonight. So you can turn off the Netflix for tonight. You got Gabe and Grant. You got your boys G. It's interactive. Thank you guys for the questions. I'm just going to keep it interactive, Grant. Trace, you want to clarify? You guys spend $44,000 a month. So is that peak season spending budget, or is that every just normal month?
That is just our January through September system, and really through October too. We'll go all in on our November. That's when we'll be adding another $20,000 to $30,000 to the budget.
So you guys are spending $10,000 a week when Taylor's going out. I mean, Taylor doesn't get as much credit. We're going to be bringing Taylor out to possibly help you guys with some things more, because he is a boss. It's so sexy. Who made shopping sexy? All right, let's keep this train moving, Grant. What's your criteria, man? Online arbitrage, retail arbitrage. You got to have some. What do you got? How do you guys buy?
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, what we have for the Cheddar standard is pretty much how we shop retail arbitrage, believe it or not. Now, one thing I will point out is, and obviously the Cheddar standard, $4 minimum profit per item, 30 to 100% plus ROI. We'd like to keep, 100,000 rank or lower. But with all that, again, comes a territory, right? I'm going to buy stuff that has a higher than $100,000 rank or 100,000 rank if it has a fat return, right? A fat ROI or a really nice net margin. Those are the types of items where I might go into those higher ranked stuff. And I'll also go lower than a 30% ROI. If I'm looking at a 30%, like a 20% ROI, that's going to net me a $30 bill. Well, depending on what I see on Kiba, there's a good chance I'm going to source that item. Who would say no to a $30,000 bill, right? So these are kind of the starting point for my standards, but they fluctuate. There's some flex in that. And I kind of talked about Kiba and just using that as kind of the rule of thumb. If I go outside of these standards, Kiba is the one that's going to be kind of tip me over.
Kiba is your bread and butter Bible. We've been talking about Kiba. If you've ever seen a Cheddar video, we always talk about Kiba. We're going to talk more about it tonight. We're going to train you guys how to read this. John said, because Grant, this is the standard. So this is why we have the Cheddar standard. This was built around what's the standard for your business. You do make exceptions, obviously. John says, will you buy replens under 30% ROI if you have sales history to prove it?
100%.
You will.
100%. Yeah.
So you will buy, you buy under, and you'll pick up a $2 bill too if you know you can sell it. Grant, you're not too proud. I mean, guys, you guys see Grant as $1 million seller. Grant, you will sell an item to make $2. True or true?
Yes, if it costs me $2 or $3, yeah.
Some people don't get that. They think that they think you like cherry pick leads and you have the secret system. You do the same stuff everybody else does. You just do it consistently, which is awesome. So cool, man. Very cool. So all right, man, let's talk. We've already let the cat out of the bag. This is another golden nugget for you guys. This wouldn't be a proper Black Friday, Cyber Monday webinar if we didn't talk about our good friends over at Kiba. So Kiba.com, if you're all not familiar, they've got a Chrome plugin. You can download it for Chrome. It makes it real easy. Grant, this is your bread and butter. You guys are in here every day. You're in it on your mobile phone. You want to go ahead and walk us through Kiba, man?
We don't ever buy an item without looking at the Kiba graph, period. Never, right? We always look at Kiba. And secondly, I don't ever check in a SKU into our arbitrage store without analyzing Kiba. So Taylor's analyzing Kiba in the field, making purchasing decisions. Believe it or not, Charles is also analyzing Kiba. He has a 20-point check system that he's checking to make sure that we send everything into our store perfectly. I rarely ever have a customer complaint. And so he's even looking at Kiba to see if Taylor might have made a mistake. It's very rare, but that stuff gets set and put into the return pile. And then I'm looking at Kiba every time I check in a SKU into the store and set the repricer up. So Kiba is the premium, man.
So yeah, I learned something from you right now. You have a 3-layer Kiba system. So yes. Taylor source, and what is Taylor's? What tool is he using in the field to see Kiba data? Is he using?
Yeah, so he's using Scoutify 2 with Inventory Lab. And
okay, he's using Scoutify, and then you guys are just using it as the Chrome plugin on your computer. Is that how you're using it?
Yep, and then we have the Chrome plugin on our Amazon web pages.
All right, very cool, man. So this may be basic for some of you guys, and for some of you veteran sellers, it's also good to kind of get back to basics. And hey, let's just be honest, Grant. Let's call it like it is. I know some of y'all, okay, because I know how you sellers roll. Some of y'all been just lurking, okay, in the group, kind of slacking off in the summertime, going to barbecues, and all of a sudden Q4 comes around, you're like, hello, and it's like a part-time hustle, and that's cool. You're welcome here, okay? It's a safe place for you here. Keep your money. Gary says, man, this is so motivating. Hey, if you've gotten something, let's just take a TV timeout, Grant. Boop. What's been your biggest takeaway so far going through here? Guy, anybody else? Gary, what's been one thing you've learned so far tonight? I'm asking this question for you mainly because it should be written down on your notes and because I'm curious. And we're going to be dropping more knowledge bombs, but I'm glad you're inspired by this. That's why we like to do these webinars. So, all right, G, let's talk about the rainbow effect while some of these things are coming in here. You told me when we were preparing these slides that this is probably one of the most important parts of our presentation today. So can you please tell me why the rainbow effect is so important and why Kiba is so important?
Right. So this is what I was talking about earlier, and looking at trends and seeing what's happening through October, really more importantly in November and the early part of December. When you look at something like, for example, if I was to see this in November of the 15th, okay? This was a $35 item and it was large, okay? And we'll talk about some other details, but it was large. It was probably only gonna be netting me at a $55 price point, probably only gonna net me like $1 or $2, almost nothing, like break even. But as I get a little closer to the peak season of November and knowing a few things that I'll talk about this item, I bought it early and we saw the offer count start to drop. This is what I'm talking about, the rainbow effect. When you see one arm of the rainbow dropping, and that's the offer count dropping on this graph at the bottom, and then you see the sale price as a result of offer counts going down, the sale price starts to go up, and now we're into profit. You can catch these types of items when they're kind of in the middle of this trend. So if you were to catch this item around the 21st of November, you are looking at a perfect storm about to take place. And that's what I want you to be. That's when I say, when we're Q4 sourcing, we're going deeper. If we see a small profit on an item, I want to see Kiba. I want to know more about the item. I want to look at the history. I want to see if it did something special during the year previous. Something about this item, and I'm not going to give away the name of it, but this was year number 2. This was version 2.0 of this item. And I'll talk about store exclusives, but it was one of those. And it was at Walmart. And so we also, another thing you can do is if you find an item and you might research it, go into Amazon and research the title of it. You might find that, oh, wow, this is the version 2.0 or 3.0 of this toy. Whoa, look what happened to the version 1.0 last year. Wow, this could happen again. So you're just digging in deeper. And again, this is a lot of the work that we do for you guys at Cheddar, right? This is the work that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing this analytic work so that we can just show you the profit, right? Again, you're still responsible for what you source and what you buy, but the idea is that we want to take the heavy lifting off of you and be able to try to find these items for you before the rainbow effect starts to take place. We want you to be in the market, closer to the first 2 weeks of November.
So this is big. I want you pay attention to what Grant's saying. Grant, I've known you, we've been partners. You've explained this to me multiple times, and it took me a couple times hearing you say it to really let this sink in, that you're reading deeper into the Kiba graphs and you're looking at last year and seeing what it's done. So at the bottom, we're looking at offer counts going down, so competition shrinking, and on the top, we're seeing the price going up. And so when you see that rainbow effect happening, that's where you can step into and find some nice profit. And this is the kind of stuff that the Cheddar team's doing behind the scenes to source all the leads that we source for you guys. Right. So part of, if you're watching this, you're like, wow, the rabbit hole goes deeper. Oh, yes. It goes way deeper. It goes way deeper. There's a lot of stuff. This is like, this is what we're teaching you guys here. So Gary said, I missed you guys from last year, but just learn something new every time. You guys really share. Great Kiba insight. So good, Gary. Tracy says, do you suggest, here it is. Okay. Good question, Tracy. Grant, we're just going to, put it out here like this. Do you suggest business loans for this time of year or ever in general?
Right. I've used business loans. We're not tax advisors. We're not business advisors. We teach how to sell on Amazon and how we're trying to reveal to you the most profitable inventory. So you definitely have to make this decision on your own and seek advice from professionals that specialize in this field of taking loans for business. But I've used loans for business and it has helped. I can tell you that.
Well, since we're being transparent, I've used loans for business and it's helped too, but I've been very strategic with it, and we have different views on it. Personally, there's good debt, there's bad debt. I do my best to purchase inventory with liquid capital, and I'm continuing on that path. I'm not going to grow as fast as if I borrowed, but I'm okay with that. Yep. Grant, you guys borrowed some stuff in the beginning. You're paying down a bunch of stuff now. You've become more conservative. So everyone's got to make their own decisions. That's a good question, though. I think it's a valid question. Yeah. I will say this, though, and I will, because you've got to make that decision. Don't buy into the hype that your business has got to be a certain place and you've got to go max out your credit cards. Like that's horse. You know what? That's don't do that. If it stresses you out, an easy rule of thumb, and Grant, this is something we created this year. An easy rule of thumb is if you are going to use it, just overextend yourself by a little bit of what your budget is. Borrow 20% of what your normal sourcing budget is and go source some really good stuff. But that's up for you to make up here. So
I think Gary has a great question. Do you think something like this is possible strictly doing OA? The answer is 100% yes. Do the same thing. When you're analyzing a lead this time of year, look at what happened in previous years. You may find land on a lead. I guess even on Cheddar, these leads are going to be all over Cheddar. Look past the first 30 days, the last 90 days. Look at the previous year. And if you saw something happening during Q4 and during peak season last year, there's a very, very, very high probability it'll happen again.
So we'll click and then we'll move on. This is a real world example of this graph. We're not going to reveal the actual product. That's for those of you that get our Cheddar Black Friday offer this year. You will see that product. But this was one product. Grant, you guys sold 67 units of this product, $13.39 average profit per item, just shy of $900 in total profit, $897.13. So from one SKU, and you have other SKUs that you guys have made $2,000 on. You have other SKUs that you guys go deep and make $5,000 on. So, find those good products. This is the difference between going with quality versus quantity. So, and
that was also one SKU of a line of product, right? There was actually in bundles, you guys. Again, don't just go off of scanning UPC codes. Go a little deeper. When you find something at home or when you talk to the manager and the manager's like, yeah, this is only sold at Walmart. Well, that's what? Only at Walmart? Boom, boom, boom. I better be thinking hard about this, right? Go home, get on your computer, search the title, look for more evidence, look for more data to help you make a good decision. And if you're part of our group, you can share that information. We encourage it. Share that information, share those questions with the group, and we can all make decisions on whether that's something we should be doing and purchasing for Q4 together.
Yes. Question before we move on, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes next. So you're going to want to pay attention to this part. Classic holiday items that were purchased last year. Should we approach them again? So I think it's an easy yes. Yeah. You sold something last year, it was good. You guys keep replen list of everything. You guys keep toy. I learned this today, Grant, that you guys keep toy list of everything, but you keep replens of everything. If it was hot last year, check it again. There's products that you guys have sourced. This will be the third year in a row, Grant. And not everything. We're outsourcing, finding new stuff. That's part of what the Cheddar team's doing. But there certainly are things. If you sold your good stuff last year, go back to those honey holes. Absolutely.
Yep.
Real quick here, and we'll talk about strategy. I think this is going to answer your question, Guy. To be clear, you guys do strictly RA, OA. This is not a mix of wholesale, PL, etc. So, Grant, you are exclusively RA, OA. Is that correct?
Yeah, exclusively arbitrage. Yes.
So that's how you guys are set up. So, well, let's pull the curtain back, man. I want to just get into the nitty gritty of what you guys are sourcing. So this is, you guys will do $1.5 million this year. And there's a success principle to, if you want to have success, just find someone who's doing that and copy them. So walk us through your bread and butter strategy, man.
Yeah. So I just want to talk about, some people are afraid of clothing and shoes, right? And some people are afraid of Nike and Under Armour and these major clothing brands because there's this stigma out there that you're going to get your account shut down or who knows what, right? Or that returns are so so bad, you're going to get so many returns that you'll never be profitable. All that's BS. I'm going to tell you something. The sellers that are doing arbitrage, that are selling over $1 million, 2, 3, 5, 10 million a year, they are selling clothing and shoes, and they're probably selling Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas. Now, I can't say that for everybody, but I know what's in the marketplace, you guys. I know what's in the arbitrage marketplace, okay? And it wasn't until we started selling clothing and shoes, and this guy that's sitting over to my right actually was helping me during Q4 a couple years back. He scanned the first set of clothing, the first Nike items, and brought them over to me and was like, dude, what's this all about? Like, there's some serious money here. And I was like, go back over to the clothes. Let's scan more. Let's go. That changed my business, y'all. Like going into the clothing and shoes business and really understanding the value of Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, Burlington Coat Factory, Tuesday Mornings, all of these price off stores, it changed my business. And so just so you guys know, we run about 1,500 SKUs average, about 1,500 SKUs are in our store active at any given time, right? We go very wide and shallow, and about 70% of that is clothing, okay? So, and clothing and shoes, okay? So don't let that scare you away. And what I would encourage people to do is, if you see the arbitrage model and you're excited about it, you want to be, you like the idea of doing arbitrage, you like the idea of selling these brands, don't be afraid of it. Scale your store up, test the out of product page, try to get ungated in these brands, and don't be afraid to sell them, because there's a lot of opportunity. And just so you know, these are just the top 3 brands out of all the clothing and shoes that we sell. We sell Polo, we sell Columbia, we sell the North Face. I mean, we sell bras, right? We sell underwear, t-shirts, tons of just plain t-shirts, Nautica, the list goes on and on.
So this is a big tip. This will be big gold nugget number 4 for tonight. So this is Grant. You've been to you had breakthroughs at conference. You bought a list for $5,000 one time to see how a guy sources.
I paid $5,000. I paid $5,000 to get good at this strategy right here.
So we're giving you guys a $5,000 golden nugget. Take this. That's why I'm saying, if you're an intermediate seller, John Hilton, you guys take this and run with it. Now, a lot of sellers, and I know this, a lot of sellers say I'm gated in Under Armour. I can't sell Nike. I can't sell Adidas. And there's 2 camps. You're either gated or you're not. So Grant, what would you say to, you've got a seasoned account. You guys have gotten ungated in these categories. You can pay, and we're actually working on a Cheddar service to help you guys get ungated in Nike and Under Armour. What would you say to someone who's gated in these categories? What should they do for this season?
Yeah, you should just honestly leads, man. It's the more opportunity you have at your disposal, the more inventory you can put into your store. So if gates are the problem, you need more data. Period. You need more data. You're either going to go find the data yourself, you're going to go find the leads yourself and do the hard work, or you can buy it, right? And I think if I was in that situation, I would be on all the Cheddars personally. Now granted, I'm a huge risk taker. As you guys know, like I've taken massive risks in my business. I've talked about it in the past. But if I were to come into this business with a brand new account and knowing what I know now, I would buy every single lead list I can get my hands on, every single lead package I can get my hands on, because that's how I'm going to scale my store. That's how I'm going to fill it up. So,
yeah. So take this what it is, guys. We're telling you guys, we like to just tell it like it is. So some of you are going to get, you're like, hey, crap, I can't sell that stuff. For those of you that are ungated, good. And, if you can pay to get ungated in the near future, do that. Tracy was asking, can the ungating be under $1,200 for Nike and Adidas? So it's probably, it depends on who you get it from. It's probably between $1,000 to $2,000, I would say, is average white glove ungating for that kind of stuff. Now, if you are gated, that we're a big believer, like Grant, what you just said, go wider. If you hit a roadblock, don't dwell on the fact that you can't sell Nike. Get on more lists, get exposure to more product, go wide. And over time, that's how you build the metrics to get ungated in these categories. Right. So, and, when you say clothing and shoes, there's a whole lot of clothing and shoes that's not Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas. So we're pointing you in the direction. So Grant, you told us the store. In the next slide, we're going to show exactly where you go, what you're looking for. You've mentioned bras, you've mentioned unmentionables. These are the kind of things you guys are looking to at the store, in addition to the clearance section. And I think it's safe that you guys do clearance first, but you're going straight over to the clothing section.
You made a great point too, that we buy these brands because it's the lowest hanging fruit in clothing and shoes. There's so much at Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Ross that we're not scanning because we don't need to, right? But it's there. There's more opportunity, and Taylor will come back and go, yeah, I found this brand of shoes, and we make $30 a pair of shoes. And I'm like, cool. It's like, we haven't ever sold that brand, but he just grew a wild hair and decided to scan this item that he saw. So the point is just if you can't sell, like Gabe said, you can't sell these brands, promise you there's clothing and shoes that you can sell.
Yeah.
Once you get them gated in the category.
So these are the stores. Let's go deeper, Grant.
Yeah, let's go deeper.
I want to talk about something else that you guys do. So walk us through this strategy here.
Yeah. So
here's
the deal.
Stores.
Yeah, the price off stores is money. Obviously, there's an emergency. I don't know if everybody can hear the lights and sirens.
I couldn't tell if that was your or mine. I live off Chicago. We hear that all the time. It's just part of the deal.
It's just life, right? So price off stores, again, this is bread and butter, and I'm glad we're moving on because I didn't want people to get discouraged that we're talking about Nike and Under Armour. You guys, these stores are going to be red hot, right? Hold on, let me just get this notification on my way. It's a little distracting. These stores are going to be red hot in the toy department. They're going to be red hot in general. They're going to fill their stores up just like you and I are trying to fill our stores up. These price off stores are doing the same thing. They're going to get inundated with inventory, right? They've been holding back too, right? And so one of the things you're going to see if you get into Ross in November and you want to get in there kind of early and be watching, because eventually the Ross toy department and these other ones too, but especially Ross is going to blow up. Now there's a lot of name brand stuff in there. You're going to see Nerf and you're going to see a lot of these things that maybe you can't sell. Just dig in, right? There's going to be stuff that you can sell. And there's just an abundance of opportunity. One of my favorite parts about price off stores and the toys and games category at these stores and all the categories for that matter is it's a lot of older stuff. This is 1, 2, 3-year-old toys that, a lot of times if Amazon used to sell it, they're not selling it anymore. Or if there used to be a lot of competition on Amazon, there isn't anymore because this toy isn't really being made anymore, stuff like that. So it's like you get the limited supply. Like a lot of the hard to find items you're going to find at these price off stores.
So in addition to clothing and shoes, these are price off stores. They're all across the country, toys and games. You're looking specifically toys and games. You're going right for the Christmas gifts. So again, you're not scanning the home and garden department. You guys aren't, there's stuff there that you could get, but it takes away your time from your bread and butter. So
this is the bread and butter.
You guys, you can make money in all different categories. So let me add, this question was asked a couple different ways here. Gary basically said it well. Variations scare me on shoes and clothing. And John said the same thing. He struggles with variations. So how do you guys know which, there's with clothing and shoes, there's a million sizes. It could be this weird, do you guys stick with normal sizes or how do you guys navigate the variations?
Yeah. So Taylor's out in the field doing retail arbitrage when he's looking at this stuff. So there's one thing that we're looking at to help us determine if we want to buy the item, and that is the offer count, right? We're looking at the offer count, and if we see enough movement in offer count, we'll buy it. If we have enough margin, and maybe offer count isn't moving a lot, but the margin is good enough that Taylor knows that when I receive it, I can keep my price low enough and get it to start moving a little faster, then that's what we're going to do. So again, it's just looking at the offer count, looking for those fluctuations. If we see the offer count changing, then we know that third party, that sellers are moving their inventory. And again, I said I had 1,500 SKUs. You guys were 1 to 2 units deep on 90% of this stuff, right? Okay. So we're casting a really wide net. And then if it sits in my store for like 6-9 months, that's when I start to figure out how to move it by really flexing my price.
So there you go. Tracy, you said, how do you see offer count when RA? So you guys use the Scoutify app, comes with Inventory Lab. You can see the Kiba data in there, and you're basically just looking for that. You're looking to see if it's selling. Is it moving?
Yes, you have to add Kiba to the Scoutify app because there's a new rule that Amazon rolled out about these apps that charge for their service and stuff. So you actually have to add Kiba to the Scoutify app. It's pretty simple. There's some instructions in Inventory Lab.
Okay.
So that's how we're doing it.
Okay. So through Inventory Lab, through Scoutify.
Mm-hmm.
John says he sourced Christmas products this week and Tuesday morning. So John's already out there doing the deed. He's doing the work. I think this is probably a biggest breakthrough number. I'll call this breakthrough number 5 for those of you guys that are writing this stuff down. Okay. You got to just do the work. Okay. If you see someone like Grant on the internet, you see success other people are creating, you got to do the work. Grant, your team's out there every single day, sourcing and buying, doing the grunt work. It's not sexy, but you got to do it. And there's no way around that. There's no secret list you're on. There's no, you just have the experience and the data that you've collected over the years, but you guys do the work. So very cool. All right, man, let's see here. We did toys and games. Let's talk store exclusives, man. You guys, you're super hyped on store exclusives. So this is what, only sold at Target, only sold at Walmart kind of stuff?
Yeah, this is really, in my opinion, going into the toy departments and buying full price retail, okay, and sourcing and analyzing and searching and, collecting data. The low hanging fruit is going to be a store exclusive, right? This is like the lowest hanging fruit. And the reason why is it's limited supply. Amazon can't sell it, right? Anytime there's a limit in supply, but there's enough demand, there's an opportunity for arbitrage, right, on Amazon. And so this is store exclusives have been some of the bread and butter, man. When Toys R Us was still in the game, man, we would buy almost every toy Toys R Us exclusive was hot. But the cool thing is you can buy some of these. I mean, look at this. You're looking at Marvel and some of these really incredible brands that have limited supply, and oftentimes they're in very high demand.
So basically, pay attention when you're out in the stores. Pay attention to those little stickers. The only at Targets, the only at Walmart's. That's a limited thing. You won't be able to get it other places, and somebody on Amazon is going to want to buy that without doing the hassle for that. So very cool, man. What store is it? Anything else besides Target and Walmart? I guess any store. Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore. I heard a rumor they're coming back this year, but I haven't heard any new stuff on it. But those main two ones.
Yeah, those are the main ones. I think Kohl's has exclusives as well. And then Tracy made a really good point that Toys R Us exclusives are actually at TJ Maxx. That's a good point. There's a lot of exclusives that you're going to find, older ones that are at the price off stores. So, again, keep that in mind as you're looking through the toy department and look for those stickers.
Bruce chimed in, ThinkGeek also. I think he's throwing ThinkGeek in the hat.
Oh man, that's some great arbitrage money right there in those ThinkGeek exclusives.
See, here's the nice thing, guys. Here's the weird thing with our industry. There's so many groups they're so secretive about what they source. Grant and I believe in abundance. We believe there's enough for everybody, and we believe that when we give to you, it comes back tenfold to us. And when you give, it just multiplies that way. So if Grant's sourcing at his local Tuesday morning, that doesn't change from what John's doing in Ohio. Right. Like we can all benefit. So that's one of the things we want to sow the seeds for the culture. Because one of the things we do with Black Chat is we all share bolos throughout the season. So when we're all contributing and we're all giving in that spirit of abundance, we all multiply. Yep. So I like that, John. I like that spirit. John says Bach Lunch, Hot Topic, Best Buy, Barnes and Noble, all exclusives. So we can maybe get like an all-exclusive list put together for
that idea
this year. Clarinda asked, do you cover the stickers that say Walmart or Target exclusive when you send them in?
So I've gone back and forth on this. If in the Amazon listing, it does not have the sticker on it and I can peel it off, we'll peel it off. If the Amazon listing still has the sticker on it in the image, I just leave it there. And to be honest with you, I think last year I finally just said, forget it, leave the sticker on there. I've never had a customer come back and say, I don't want my money back because this was sold at Target first, So not a big deal. I don't think most people care.
So most people don't care. You'll get those weird customers that complain. Just don't worry about that. Just move on. Like if you want to scrape it off, you can. These are all details. You guys can't sweat the small stuff. That's one thing. Al Morris says, my kind of values guy. So I think Al's aligned with the abundance mentality. There's more than enough to go. There's more that Grant and I could possibly source ever in our lifetime. There's more than all of us on this call. If there was 10 times of us here, we still couldn't get all the product in America. So there's plenty here. John says he never peeled them. John don't care about no stickers.
Yep.
John's a boss. John ain't got no time for stickers like that.
We have a question here asking if I create listings.
Yeah.
And the answer is no. I don't create any listings whatsoever except to liquidate on eBay. And the only thing I would add to that is that we do fix listings, right? If we see that a listing has great opportunity or great potential, but there's some serious ugly flaws on it, then we'll see if we can fix those to create some to increase to lower the sales rank and move more inventory on it.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. I came up in the group a couple days ago. Someone asked, do you guys create listings? So no, for none of this stuff. So, hey, what about the seasonal stuff, man? Talk us. What are we looking at? I'm looking at a heated blanket here, bro. Tell me. Walk us through here.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, right?
So listen up, people. Listen. Stop. Put your water down. Pay attention.
So for the last 2 years, we have sold an incredible amount of heated blankets. Okay, I don't know if the opportunity will be available this year or not, but I would imagine last year we probably sold. Probably like 2,000. I don't know. I'd have to ask Taylor. It could have been more than 2,000 heated blankets. We were literally ordering them from Walmart, saying we want 100 of these, 100 of these, 100 of those, and they were like, "Oh, okay, let's see if we can get those for you." And we did. I mean, we were literally bringing truckloads of heated blankets into the garage and packing them up. And so we made several $1,000s last year just off of heated blankets from Walmart. And then just, the other things. The whole point of this slide is really to tell you that it's not all about toys and games, right? Toys and games is a lot of fun. I love toys and games. Taylor loves toys and games. We all do, right? It's nostalgic. And there's a lot of profit to be made. But go into the grocery aisles, right? Again, this is speaking to those that are dated, right? On a lot of these really popular toy brands and stuff. Go into the grocery aisle, man. The grocery opportunity is wide open, right? Gabe and I were just talking about this before we got on the call. I actually got to the point of going full-time in my business, quitting my job and going full-time because of grocery. I used to go to Walmart and my cousin and myself, this is before Taylor was on the team, we would go to Walmart after work and spend 2 to 3 hours scanning all of the grocery items at Walmart. There is opportunity, but specifically on this slide, think of the stuff that's seasonal, right? The weird Oreos, the pumpkin spice, disgusting, I have to imagine, pumpkin spice spam. Right? I heard this on Christian radio, and I had to show it. So
Christian radio loves to hate on the pumpkin stuff. Why does Caleb always hate on the pumpkin stuff?
Why do they? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the pumpkin either. Pumpkin coffee at Starbucks, that's not good.
Oh, dude, I drink pumpkin spice lattes.
You like it?
Oh yeah.
See, that's why people like you are buying this stuff, Grant, and it's
weirdos like me
feeding it. So seasonal stuff. So So you let the cat out of the bag. Anybody else sell heated blankets? I'm curious. John says that you taught him grocery back in 2016. So grocery was and you mentioned that tip, man. This is another, I'll call this, we'll call heated blankets tip number 6. Okay. I'll call grocery tip number 7. Okay. Yeah. Grocery is an overlooked category. And Grant, you quit your full-time plumbing job and you made good money as a plumber. You made good, healthy money, and you were able to quit your job plumbing just with grocery. This was before you weren't doing shoes and clothing and a lot of stuff back then. So there's still money there. And
here's a really cool story too. There's a guy in our group. His name's Nick. I won't share his last name because I don't have permission. But his name's Nick. There's a lot of Nicks, right?
Sure.
This dude, when he started his store, I want to say about 2 years ago, again, struggling with restrictions just like everybody else. He sends me a message on Facebook. He's like, "What do you think about breaking even on stuff just to get my volume up so that I start getting ungated?" The dude can sell most brands now. Why? Because he went into the grocery departments. He bought stuff that he could make little tiny margins of profit to get his volume up in his store so that he would start getting auto-ungated. Once the auto-ungating flood happened, it just went crazy. In fact, there's a webinar we did with this guy. In fact, I can share his name. He's public on our Cheddar YouTube channel. Okay, his name's Nick Cotter. Go look him up. Right, you can even search Nick Cotter or OHEad or Nick Cotter, Cotter. And he gave us, kind of spilled the beans and explained how he did this about 1.5 years ago. And so again, that's just another tip, you guys. There's ways to get past the gating issue.
See, I'm glad you brought that up. And I want to just give some props to Nick because I have a lot of respect for him and entrepreneurs like him who are willing to see, it's a mindset piece. Like, you're going to hit roadblocks, and he didn't say, boom, I'm gated. Oh, woe is me. This business sucks. It doesn't work. He got creative. It's like, you need a lack of creativity and found other ways to get this stuff done. So mad props to you, Nick. I'd have to circle back though. I'm curious how he's been doing this past year. So another tip here, these seasonal stuff. So be on the lookout for this stuff. Big tip, Grant. Another big tip. How many of you guys drop a yes in the chat if you guys have sold some pop culture stuff? Grant, what kind of things are you talking about?
Yeah, so what we have here on the left is, if you look at the bottom right corner, you're going to see it's a Netflix special, right? And Netflix is like the new television. And what we have found is a lot of these Netflix and these pop culture type brands that get really, really popular end up doing really well. So I would be looking at things like Netflix. I think I'd be looking at things that are movie related, television related, right? Which most toys are, but some stuff is a little bit more popular at the time, right? That's where the pop culture comes in. It's cultural and it's popular at the time. Last year, right? This new brand came out called Ryan's World. Ryan's World. This kid is a YouTube sensation, makes bazillions of dollars, right? Doing toy reviews. Okay, but he had an entire section at the Walmart toy department and Target. And one of the things that we were selling was a ton of stuff, all these stuffed animals, tons of these little toys. We made so much money on Ryan. And we were running around all through the preseason buying yellow and blue eggs. And then when we hit the Black Friday, we were finding gold eggs. I think it was the yellow and red eggs, and then we were finding the gold eggs and the blue eggs during Black Thursday and all through the evening and through Black Friday. And so this was one of the big hot things last year. It was a lot of fun. So
Yeah,
YouTube
eggs
sensations and stuff like that.
eggs were like an inside joke in Black Chat last year. I think everybody got their hands. John Hilton said he sold 200 Ryan's eggs last year.
Yep.
Those stinking eggs. God bless America when Ryan's probably richer than all of us, and he's over there just doing toy reviews on YouTube. Maybe we can all learn from Ryan.
That's
Dude,
right.
we're here hustling, doing all this hard work. We could just be making YouTube videos, making giant mystery eggs. People, what's our world come to? Sorry, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. It's just crazy, man. I'm baffled by the opportunity in our country. Like, it's just all work. So let's see here. Clarinda says, yes, new movies are coming out, so look for toy related stuff. Tracy said she found 2 orange eggs at Target this week, $39.99, selling for $75. See, orange eggs, gold eggs.
Yep.
Last year,
Godzilla.
I hope his parents ain't the revenue. I hope his parents ain't spent the revenue. I hope his parents ain't spent it too. Tracy. All right, man. So we've been talking about a lot of strategies, Grant. RA, they work for OA. So, everyone's got a different strategy. So for you guys, you're sourcing both retail arbitrage and online arbitrage. Your strategy is basically the same with both. How are you guys sourcing OA basically that whole week? We look at Black Friday. Black Friday week is not just like an RA sourcing trip. It's like the whole week there's OA deals. So how do you guys approach it?
Yeah, I mean, so I kind of want to point out the fact that like retail arbitrage leads are also online arbitrage leads. In fact, one of the things that was really unique about, I think, the last couple of years, but especially 2018, is we're really seeing a lot of the Black Friday opportunity is actually available on the internet first. Right. And so I think that it's just really important to point out that if you're looking at this, you're like, oh, I don't really like retail arbitrage. I don't like checking out. I don't like the lines. I don't like going to stores. I don't like the exposure, whatever. Right. Sit at home, use the leads to buy from your computer. And Black Friday week, you're going to have opportunity all through November, but especially Black Friday week, you can be sourcing from your computer significantly.
So yeah, nothing fancy. This isn't like, you guys aren't doing anything different. Whatever you're using, if you are on lead lists now, get on more. Just get yourself exposure to as many leads as you can. That data is going to serve you because you'll be able to spend your budget on better products. That's just the nature of the game. So there's going to be deals all week. We've personally staffed up, guys, for Q4. We hire a new team. We've been training. We've been building. We've moved our overseas team in the Philippines into a new office to begin training our team. Grant, you guys have got a new office. We've been staffing up. We've allocated a portion of our team exclusively to be sourcing Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and extra Q4 leads for you guys. So what we're talking about is all the extra leads on top of the normal Cheddar list. That's what we've been doing. So if you have a team of VAs and you're doing that, get them ramped up also. And or if you want to just leverage our team, which is what a lot of people do, and just get, I couldn't tell you, I had a conversation yesterday with a 7-figure seller, and he said, Gabe, I'm on like all your lists, but I don't even get the emails anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I give each list to a different sourcing agent, and their job is just to buy off that list. And I'm like, that's brilliant. I'm so glad to hear that you've like, that should be like the graduation. You like stop getting the Cheddar emails and you give them to your team. So
that's right.
I cast that vision to inspire. Some of you guys are still doing all the work this year. That's cool too. For the 2020 season, 2021 season, start looking about how you scale your team. We'll talk more about that, Grant, in the new year as well. So, hey, Chris had a question. How tight are you holding your BSRs? So Chris, are you asking like, what are you asking specifically, Chris? Karen says, any idea when the regular OA Cheddar list are going to open up again for new members? Grant, we've been like sold out and full on OA Cheddar on our main list. There's like rarely lists that come up. So you want to, when we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, we've got a special lead package for Q4. We're going to be releasing it next Friday, and that's basically it. So what we're going to talk about in about 15 minutes here, we're basically packaging up every other lead that we can harvest from the Cheddar system on top of our current list, and we're going to put it in the package for you guys and give it to you. Outside of that, we don't have, what we have is what we have. And we don't have, we can't just go like magically get more leads. Like they have to be good. And our team is exclusively focused on quality. And so unfortunately, that means that a lot of our lists are sold out, and that's just kind of the nature of it. So when spots open up, get on them. That's all I can say. It's not like that's just the best we can say about that. So Chris is asking for BSR. Do you hold on to a 1% BSR? Do you expand to a 3% like of a category? How low of a BSR are you guys?
I don't really have a BSR like set standard because if I see like when Taylor's taught that when he sees profit on the scan to go look at Kiba, period. Right. And if there's enough profit, I can assure you I'm going 2, 3, 4% into BSR if there's enough profitability there.
Yeah. Everything's, you guys will make exceptions if there's money on it. So
yep.
John Hilton says, I haven't looked at a Cheddar list in 3 months. Thanks, VA. Hey, digital high five to you, my friend. Hats off, John Hilton. John Hilton's taking some big steps. I want to give some love to John Hilton if I can, Grant. John's been with actually Cheddar before Cheddar was even a group. He's been a part of our community for several years, and he's grown tremendously, put the work in. I think you're hovering around. I don't know if you'll mind me sharing too much of your numbers, but he's doing well, breaking through and setting up systems now. So that's very exciting, man, to get through that hustle. So congrats to you. Last question, then we're going to move on. Jessica Sprague says, commingle or FNSKU?
FNSKU.
FNSKU.
Yep. I want all my inventory coded to my store. I do not want that somebody's junk, because I have very high expectations. We have very high standards. Like we don't buy scratched up, dented up, torn up stuff like a lot of other sellers might do.
I don't like commingle either. I don't want to. If you guys take care of your stuff and you take pride in it, then you don't want to mix it in with some other joker. There's a lot of jokers out there, man. Like we like to keep things on the up and up here around Cheddarville, and we'll encourage you guys to. But there's a lot of riffraff in our industry. I don't know if y'all noticed that. It just kind of comes with the turf. So, anyways, cool. So if you guys want to get more leads, here's one of the shortcuts. Okay, if there's like an easy button for Q4. Get yourself some more data, get more leads. So we've opened up a brand new Cheddar Flips. We've actually opened and closed Flips 1. We're now sold out on Flips 1. We hired more team. We've opened up a second Flips list. So if you go to oacheddar.com/flips, we've opened up a second Flips list. You guys can get exposure to that. It's a live real-time feed Facebook group. Good old Feta. Grant, we always have a few spots on Feta. Feta's got good leads. I think a lot of people see a lot of people see Cheddar and they think, oh, Cheddar is the better leads. What's your take on Feta?
I mean, one thing I've found with that is that we have a core group of Feta subscribers that have been on there for a very long time. Some of them have actually built and are making significant money using Feta as like one of their exclusive lists. And I think the reason why is because, again, our Cheddar standards are a $4 minimum net profit and a 40% minimum ROI. The problem is what if I have a 30% ROI, but a $15 profit? That's not going to land on Cheddar, right? That's where the Feta leads land, all right? Those leads will land on Feta. And so there's actually some really good stuff on Feta, and I think people kind of undervalue it. And I've been trying to spread the word and get people more excited about Feta, but it's really good. It's a great list. I think everybody should give it a swing.
Here's what I'm going to say real quick, Karen, about this. What's the difference between Feta and Cheddar? So Cheddar, we have the Cheddar standard. It must meet all the Cheddar standard, minimum $4 net profit, minimum 30% ROI, must be selling 10 plus 40%. 40% ROI. Thank you. Must be selling 10 sales a month or more. If it misses any one of these, and it could just be one of them, it triggers off the Cheddar list and gets, if it's still a good lead, so we'll review that. If it's still quality, like maybe like Grant said, it's a 20, maybe it's a 38% ROI, but it's like a $12 net profit. That's still a juicy lead, still selling 10 plus times a day. That lead will fall onto Feta. And so there is good stuff in there, and there is good replen. So if you guys need more inventory, Feta's good quality. It's a good value list, a really good value list if you know how to source on it. The Feta link is oafeta.com. I believe all these are on the main website, guys. We get asked every day for links to all of our lists. Just go to oacheddar.com, and I believe you can find all of them if you just scroll down. Let me put this in here.
Yep, they're all on the.
They're all on the main website. Okay, we put everything on that. Just scroll down. OA Feta does, if you want. There's the Flips one. There's the Feta one. Perfect. oafeta.com, oacheddar.com. We try and keep it simple, folks. And then the last little guy over there. Okay, there's a little dude down there on the bottom right that we haven't talked about. That's our new OA Cheddar Black Friday bundle, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be revealing that in just a couple of minutes. Really stoked about this. If you're looking for more leads and you haven't been able to get on the Cheddar, the next best thing to add a boost to your business would be our Black Friday bundle. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So before we do, though, let's take a quick recap. I got a bunch of you guys on live. So I want to check in with your intention. Who's ready to have the best Q4 of your life? Drop a yes. This is not a rhetorical question. This is a real question because there is power in your intention and there's power in your spoken word. And I want you guys to intend for prosperity. You don't get prosperous on accident. Yes. Yeah, boy. Yes. Now is your time. Now is the season. So I see yes. Real quick shout out to our YouTube friends. I see a bunch of you that are watching live here in the Zoom room and a bunch of you that are watching on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I see you over here. Okay, I got my laptop here. I got my eye on you guys. Go ahead and drop a comment in YouTube. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button on YouTube and hit the post notification, that little bell. Be subscribed to our Cheddar channel. We're going to be publishing this video and more to the YouTube channel. And drop a yes in the YouTube chat. Let us know that you guys are digging this. So these guys are ready, Grant. The chat just blew up here. I saw a bunch of yeses coming through. There must be some people from the South down here. Yes. Tracy says 84,000 is my goal. Net profit or gross sales? That's my question. Be specific. Be specific. If your intention is to earn an extra 30 grand this Q4, be specific. Okay. So these guys are ready. Here's a success key, guys. And we're going to talk about the bundle. If you want to get different results in life, find someone who has the results you seek and copy them. Okay. This is going to be big lesson. What are we on? Number 8? Big lesson number 8. Okay. These are knowledge bombs. In school, it was called copying, right? When you look over at your friend, you're like, hey, Grant's got D, B. I know none of y'all did that. I know none of y'all did that.
I didn't.
I did that. Okay. I wasn't the greatest student. Hey, in the real world, guys, it's called smart business. Okay. Grant, you paid $5 grand to get access to a lead list that we're going to be sharing with these guys. This wasn't this year. This is in the past. That's how you copy. You're copying the lead list of what's success. So do this. If you guys want results, do what's working. So the question you should be asking yourself, hopefully you're asking yourself now, is what do top sellers do? Okay. And here's one of the things. There's a different think I've noticed with a 7-figure seller, even with the 8-figure sellers. There's a different think going on upstairs than with kind of some of the earlier phases. Number one, they leverage their time with lead lists. Okay. This is one of the big key differences. They stop trying to do everything yourself. If you're the solopreneur, stop that stuff. You got to find a way to create leverage. You create leverage with people, with systems, and with data, with resources. So one of the ways you can create leverage is with our list. We have hundreds of hours that we'll be putting into sourcing for our Black Friday lead package. You guys can get this for like pennies a lead. Okay, so create leverage with your lead list. So my question is, who wants leads for Q4? Okay, who wants the leads for Q4 and who's ready to talk about our Black Friday bundle? I know y'all been asking about it because we had a bunch of you guys in the group asking when we're dropping it. You guys are first in the world, by the way, to see this. You guys are first in the world. And there's a very specific way that we're rolling out our Black Friday list this year. So pay attention again. Get back in tune with the webinar because I want you guys to understand this. Gary says 100 grand. I like it, Gary. We got some big thinkers here. Tracy says they're trying to copy you. Just do it.
Please do.
Very cool. What's the link? Well, first of all, there's nothing for you to buy tonight. So you can put your credit card away. You can relax. Okay. I'm going to present to you and show you guys what we put together for our Black Friday package. And we are very stoked. We've been working, we've been pouring our heart and souls literally into this package. And we're calling this year Cheddar Black. Okay. Cheddar Black is a brand new, and it's so much more than a list. We're going to walk through what it is. First part of Cheddar Black, of course, Grant, is our Black Friday list. So in the past, we start dropping leads on this list by November 15th. So we're going to start that again this year. And you guys will see as we find leads throughout Q4, they will be dumped onto the Black Friday list. So Grant, anything you really designed this? I'll let you talk about some of these lists, man.
Yeah, we'll have it pretty much ready by the 15th of November. We're going to start depositing, like, for example, the first leak just came out like a couple days ago. Someone on the team pinged me and let me know because that's one of their jobs. And so the first leaked ad has already come out. We are going to be compiling data and putting that onto the list all up until, really up until Black Friday itself, assuming that some ads come out kind of late. But by the 15th, we should have the majority of them ready to go. So you should be
starting early. And we're going to have some cool prep. We got all kinds of goodies, man. It's like Santa Claus. We're just pulling them out. So first thing you get Black Chat, you get the Black Friday list, of course. Okay. Second thing, of course, you would get, we personally, Grant, I believe our Black Friday list is the best in the industry. I'm biased, and we buy other lists too. So, I mean, we're on other lists as well, but I believe what we've assembled here is the best that you'll find anywhere, and I'll stand behind that. Our Cyber Monday list, this is real time. So if you guys want to, I mean, if you want to go scan through, and this is probably like, I mean, we have our team scan several hours through each store release. So if you've got like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 hours to like scan all the classifieds, you can duplicate this work on your own. Or you can just let our team do the hard work and just spoon feed it to you on the Cyber Monday list and sit at home in your comfy PJs, drinking a latte, just shopping away. Because I know that's what you guys do on Cyber Monday. It makes me happy. Will this list be already run through Kiba? Yes, multiple times.
Yep. We will have a team from Black Friday through the weekend and all the way into Monday, working overtime essentially to source leads and to be basically inundating everybody with opportunity. So if there shouldn't be anybody that has more money than we have leads. I don't think that's going to happen.
Our goal is to outlead your money. That's goal.
Right.
Our goal is to outlead your money. So you can our theme, and I'm going to keep saying this throughout the whole campaign, our theme is quality this year. Mm-hmm. Last year we were doing quality and quantity. We don't want to overwhelm you with a bunch of data. We want to give you only the best. We're cutting the fat off the steak and just giving you that thick, juicy. Now, if you're vegetarian, it's a cucumber. Okay, so whatever is your thing. Cyber Monday list. Third list is Grant's Q4 Gold Retail Arbit. You like that one? I'm glad.
That was good.
Anybody else like that? Don't tell me don't quit my day job, Gabe. Just keep your day job. Your RA list, man. So you and Taylor are going to be out scanning, and not just scanning normal. We've got Taylor working overtime now, scanning stores he wouldn't normally scan. So tell me, where is Taylor going to be scanning? Where are these leads going to be coming from?
A lot of toy stuff, but we're going to be all over the place. In the past, we've really focused on Walmart and Target, and especially the toy department. We're going to do that again, but he's also going to be going to, over the weekend, actually, on Saturdays, are going to be called Scouting Saturdays, right? And Taylor's going to be going out and just strictly sourcing and scanning stores that he does not frequent, right? So we're going to be looking for RA opportunity all over the market, all over at all kinds of different stores. And this list is already being compiled as in the last couple of weeks. In fact, Taylor's been texting me all day with pictures of more leads. So we have things that we're watching, that we're waiting to see if they can, kind of come out of the woodworks and really be profitable. And we have other things that are already profitable. Obviously, the real meat and potatoes of the retail arbitrage leads are going to come through November, but we're already getting started.
So that we're already building that. And Grant, this is y'all's expertise. So if you guys want to have this is like having the cheat codes to a 7-figure RA business in this one list. Now, the question from Mars, back up here, 3 questions here. Karen says, are these lists, are they regional offers? So Grant, if what you find in Wenatchee, will that affect what I find in my Ross in Chicago?
Right. So when it comes to like Walmart and Target and Black Friday, that stuff is going to be pretty much available in all stores. Okay. And the stuff that's at full price retail is pretty much available everywhere. There will be leads that we share that we are finding at like the price off stores. Okay. Again, this is a little different. We haven't really done this in the past, but if we find something in Marshalls, or we find some different brands that we're kind of seeing as kind of a common theme inside of the price off stores, we're going to make sure you're aware of that as well. So it's going to be kind of across the whole board.
Yeah. So it's across the board. This is a funny comment. Russ says, wait, are there 3 lists? Yeah, we're just getting started. There's more. Wait, there's more. There's so much more. These are 3 lists. He said, is this all, he's calling it Cheddar Noir. I like that. He's putting a little noir with the cheddar, pairing the cheddar with a little noir. A nice little aroma to it. I like it. I like how you're thinking, Russ. You're creative. Charles H is on. He says, that's it. A pickup? Try filling a box truck. Mm-hmm. That was fun. So you guys are out there filling box trucks. Marcia Roberts, I am international. How do I benefit from retail arbitrage? Well, this list is specifically U.S. So if you're not in the U.S., Grant, what would you say to that?
I mean, again, at the Black Friday, the Cyber Monday leads, a lot of the RA leads that we're finding at full price retail, we are actually sourcing the link on the website too. So if it is available on Walmart.com or Target.com, we'll have it there too. And not to mention, if you're international, by the way, let me back up for a second. You need to be selling on the Amazon US platform, right? So if you're international, sourcing for the US platform, this is a good product for you. If you're international and selling on your own, like Amazon UK, this probably isn't the best thing for you. It is possible that you're going to learn a lot, and the value will be there just in terms of, being a fly on the wall and being a part of the community during Black Friday and during the Q4 season.
Yeah, full disclosure. I mean, we built this product for U.S. sellers, so I know we do have some international sellers, but yeah, this is built for U.S. sellers. So Christopher says, do these so far 3, and we haven't even. You guys keep asking questions. I got to get to the good stuff here. I think the best. There's still better stuff to come. Do these 3 lists come out one time or weekly, or how do they come out? So we're going to be sharing them with you inside the Cheddar Black group for those of you guys that take this offer, and you'll have access to these lists all season. So basically, as we find leads, our team's going to be piling leads, continuing to pile leads onto this list. So it's in real time, basically. So it's not going to get released like our typical Cheddar. You're not going to get a daily email about this. We're just going to keep piling leads on. You can pop open in the morning, open it up, and chances are our team's been filling leads overnight while you're away from it, and you'll be able to source in real time. So let's see here. So cool. Let's keep clicking, man. List number 4. I told you guys there's more good stuff. Okay. If 3 lists wasn't enough, I told you guys we're just giving you the farm. We want to introduce to you guys a brand new list. No one has seen these leads yet, and we're calling it the Q4 Cheddar Chunk, aka the Christmas Chunk. Now, what's the Christmas Chunk? Well, for those of you guys that love OA Cheddar, someone asked a question earlier. I'm getting hyped up. Maybe my matcha's kicking in a little bit. Matcha's tea, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. It's like a green tea. A lot of you guys ask, hey, how do we get cheddar if the cheddar is sold out? This how you get cheddar if the cheddar sold out. This is a mega chunk, and basically we have 4 OA cheddar lists. This is our top shelf OA lead list that are mostly full. I think they're all currently sold out right now. Every other lead that our team produces in excess of those 4 lists gets put on this super chunk. So we talked around. We could have called it the fatty. We could have called it the super Christmas chunk. We could have called it a lot of things. Basically, it's just a big old chunk of extra Q4 leads that our team finds, and this is above and beyond. So every other lead that our team finds, we're not planning on opening a new lead list. We could easily package this up into its own list. Possibly in 2020, we may do that. For this year, we're packaging it in with the Q4. Grant, anything else you'd say about the Christmas chunk?
Yeah, I'm just super excited about it, man. I feel like this is going to be, I don't know. I don't know how we could make it better. So
yeah, we're just trying to stack on the value. So Karen says, do you take PayPal credits? We currently don't. We could look into how to add PayPal to our system. Maybe we can ask Clark about that. Currently, we don't. Credit cards, debit cards, regular stuff. Karen, how many people have access to the list?
You asking me, homie?
I'm asking you, G.
Okay. Yeah, we're capping it out at 150 people. So you're gonna see that there's actually 2 offers, right? We got something that everybody can afford, and we have something that the people who are gonna go all in this season are gonna want. And there's a total of 150. That's all we're gonna offer. We're capping it out, and so that'll be the top.
We'll talk about that in a second here. Let me ask why. Yeah, I'll save that. We'll talk about the 150 in a second here. Let's get through this other stuff. Yeah. Okay, here's the cool stuff. Now, last year, all those are lead lists. So that's 4 lead lists in one package so far. And on top of that, we want to equip you not just with the best leads in the industry, but we want to impact you with the best community. So last year, this feature was a bonus we did last year for the first time. It's a little something we call Black Chat. And Black Chat is basically a Facebook group message for everybody inside this special group. We all share bolos in real time. We have questions for each other. It's real-time dialogue. So it has a lot different culture and a feel than in a group where sometimes people are maybe afraid to ask questions or whatever. There's no stupid questions. And Grant, the feedback that we have received since last year is that Black Chat was people's favorite part of the program. So I see a bunch of you guys in chat. If you guys like Black Chat, if that was your favorite part of last year, drop something in the comments here. See, I'm seeing the comments go crazy here. One of the best things we did last year. I am curious, why do you guys love Black Chat so much? Just drop that below. I'm curious because we created this service last year. True story. Grant and I weren't sure if this was a good idea. We're like, hey, I think it would add value to the community, but are people really going to enjoy being in another chat group? We want to be efficient with our time, and people just loved it. They blew it up. And we're taking Black Chat a step further this year. So if you liked Black Chat 2018, you're going to love Black Chat 2019. And that is because we're adding a second component to it, and we're calling it the Cheddar Black Group. Okay, yes, another Facebook group. So what we're going to do with the Cheddar Black Group is this, number one, this is where all your leads are going to live. So this Cheddar Black Group is going to be your HQ for the Q4, if you know what I mean. We'll still be posting good stuff in the main group, but the insider conversation is going to be happening inside the Cheddar Black Group. And we have brought on VAs from our team specifically to be taking the products that you guys find to share with each other inside Black Chat. And we're going to be peeling those out and posting those into the Cheddar Black news feed with a hashtag system. So if you want to search hashtag retail arbitrage, you'll be able to pull up and see only just those retail arbitrage leads. Likewise, you'll be able to do hashtag online arbitrage and pull up just the OA leads. So we're basically taking the data, because we had the Black Chat was lit last year, Grant. Like that thing was popping off every single day. You can get access to it on your phone. So I'm pretty sure people were sitting in front of their computers sourcing. And as those leads come in real time, we're going to add those to the Cheddar Black Group. So that'll be just an easy place for you to access all the trainings we do for the Cheddar Black Group, all the leads that you have in your lead list, and everything will be in an open format because we'll all be on the inside. So how cool is that? Gee, how cool are you
I'm
guys
excited.
digging Cheddar Black?
I'm excited. The reason why we did this, and one of the reasons is, like Gabe said, the chat can get a little crazy, right? Everybody's excited, everybody's sharing value. And so one of the things that we wanted to be able to do was be able to extract the best stuff and put it in a format that can be easily searched. So if you're at work and you're busy, you've got a full-time job, we don't want you to miss out on any of the goods. So we want you to be able to come back to the chat, right, to the Cheddar Black Group, and be able to just look at the most recent posts and see all the highlights from the day.
Be an easy way to keep things organized. We're just going a step and beyond for you guys. So cool. Last thing. Man, if that wasn't cool enough, right? But what else? How could it get better than this, right? Well, we want to empower you guys. We thought about throwing this in as a bonus just for you guys that get the Cheddar Black offer. And then we thought, heck, in the spirit of abundance, why don't we just give it to everybody for free? Why don't we just teach you guys? So this is Grant, you want to talk about the video game strategy? This is a very specific strategy. And I do want to give props to our good friend, Devin Motti, who first introduced us to this a couple seasons ago. So Devin, appreciate you, man. He's one of the good guys in the industry, good friend of ours. And we like to share, that's one of the things as insiders, we like to share good ideas back and forth and with each other. So Grant, this video game strategy is very lucrative. Now it can be lucrative, and a lot of people, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. So you want to talk about the video game strategy briefly?
Yeah, the thing about it is it's really a Black Friday strategy, and it's, online sourcing Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday, and then going into the stores Thursday night and Friday, and pulling off video games that are priced anywhere between $15 and $25. And you can generally average, depending on what you buy, about a $4 to $5 net profit. And what we're doing is we're merchant fulfilling these games, right? Because during Black Friday, a lot of people buy video games. They try to send them into FBA to sell them in that way. And oftentimes that, by the time they get to FBA, the price is already eroded. So this is a very quick strategy. It's a quick turn, quick buck. Quick flip, order early, go into the stores early, get the product, list it while you're in the store. And then you should be, honestly, through all of Black Thursday and Friday morning, and through then you should be selling video games, and you just throw them in an envelope, print off a label, and ship them to the customer. It costs about $3, $2.50, $3 to ship a video game to a customer. So it's pretty fun. We had a lot of fun with it last year.
Yeah, so you guys do this. This is one of the merchant fulfilled strategies. Do you remember how much you guys made off this strategy last year?
Yeah. Oh man, I think we made about, was it like $1,300 in the first 8 days, I think, or something like that. We started selling video games around like the 23rd or something last year. And I have that'll be in the slideshow next week. We'll be talking about some of the stats.
Yeah. So now this is the next, go ahead, man.
We had people who did video games, this strategy on a level way bigger than me last year. I'm thinking like Ralph Cochran, and I can't remember some of the other names that really went crazy with this strategy, and they sold a lot more video games than I did. But this is a fast way to make a couple $1,000s.
So this is a lucrative strategy. We're going to be teaching this to you guys, whether you get the package or not. So next Tuesday will be our next webinar. We'll announcing that to the group. So that'll be coming up next to prep you guys for that. So that's all bundled in though, rather than hold that back. So here's a big fancy list of everything. It's 4 lists. You get the Black Friday list, the Cyber Monday list. You get Grant's, you get the Master Cheddar the RA Gold list. You get the Q4 Christmas chunk. So that's like every other lead that we produce. You get the Black Chat bonus. You get the Cheddar Black bonus. You get the video games flip strategy. It's $2,700 worth of real world stuff if we were to sell it individually. And just to make it simple and clean, since we like to do that around here, we put it all into one easy package of only $997, right as the baby's getting ready for bed. $997. So that's what the Cheddar Black offer is for this year. We packaged everything up. I've seen people in our industry sell Q4 lead packages for $2,000 to $5,000 across the board. We could easily ask for that. I think this package is easily worth $5,000. I think if you have a good budget, you take even just what we taught you on tonight's webinar, you should be able to take the information we taught tonight and turn that into a nice, decent chunk of profit that will pay for your investment into the lead list. And then really, unless you have a couple hundred hours of time to invest, the leads come down to a very affordable package. So that's Cheddar Black. Now, because we know some of y'all are balling on a little bit of a budget, we want to make a 2-pay option for you. So we want to make this easy for everybody. We want to eliminate any excuse not to be a part of our Cheddar Black group this year. So you can get the same Cheddar Black bundle, we're calling it, for 2 easy payments of $549. And that's, again, the best that we got. There's no other list that we have intentions of releasing. This is like everything packaged up into one bundle. And if you are really balling on budget, if you're scrimping and you're like, hey man, this is my first year, I just want to get my feet wet. We wanted to have something for you too. So we call this the little guy. This is our Cheddar Black Friday, Cyber Monday list only. So to be clear, this option is only $299 for both lists. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. You get the Black Friday list, you get the Cyber Monday list. What you don't get is you don't get Grant's Retail Arbitrage Gold list, which that thing's easily worth $5,000 to $10,000, just the nuggets you guys have in there. They don't get the Christmas chunk, so they don't get the extra leads to source from. They don't get the Black Chat. They don't get the community. They don't get the Cheddar Black group, which we're going to let run all the way throughout 2019, give you guys access. And you do get the video game strategy because we're giving that for free to everybody. So it's $1,100 for the video game strategy of those 3. We hook it up to you guys for $297. This is a pretty picture of all this stuff together. So we're going to talk about how to get access to this. This slide here is actually on the website. So it's oacheddar.com/Black Friday is where you can find this. We've highlighted the Cheddar Black bundle, the $997 in yellow, because that's absolutely the best value. You get the most return for that. Now, here's the important key, okay? We're releasing these in an organized fashion, and we are capping this offer. A lot of you guys know we're one of the rare lead providers in our industry that when we say that we have so many spots on a list, we really mean it. And it's those of you guys, we've actually refunded a bunch of you guys that have overfilled onto a list, and we could easily oversell lists, but we believe in integrity. So Grant, why are we capping at a 150? There's a lot of sellers out there. There's probably 2 million plus Amazon sellers. Why are we capping this list at 150?
Yeah, there's a lot of Black Friday groups that actually don't have a cap. And I think that's because, this is national data. It's not like, it's exclusive to us. We're just the ones that are, doing the work of vetting the stuff and packaging it up to where it's very efficient and quick for everybody. But the reason we're capping at 150 people is we don't want to oversaturate. And, it's just, we want to create some exclusivity. So it's 150 people total, right? So that's,
total.
That's the $299 offer and the $997 offer. Once we hit 150 sold, period, we're done, right? So, we just want to make sure that everybody has a fair opportunity. We don't oversell, even though I really don't think you can oversell a Black Friday offer. We're going to make sure we're going to err on the side of caution.
Yep. And we want to be able to focus on you guys. So we figured more than that in a Facebook chat and the group would just get a little crazy. So here's how to get it. Write these 2 dates down. This is the important part. If you are a customer, okay, if you are on one of the OA Cheddar list, we like to hook up our customers. So if you are a customer, we're going to be releasing the early bird link to you guys next Friday, October 11th at 10 a.m. Central. Okay, so 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. We will send you an email, just like you get your normal Cheddar emails. We will fire you guys an email first. You guys get first dibs because we like to hook you guys up. Then after that, same day, Friday the 11th at 1 p.m. Central, we will be opening this offer up to the main group and to the public. And this is going to be to our group and to a couple other Amazon FBA groups that are much larger than ours. So we're giving you guys first dibs first. We've got close to 1,000 people in our Cheddarville community as of today. We've got around 280 subscribers that are current customers. So I do expect this offer to go very quickly. So the main group release will be Friday, October 11th at 1 p.m. Bookmark the page, oacheddar.com/Black Friday. Okay, /Black Friday. That's where the page are. And the action step for today is head over there and go ahead and enter in your name and email. And if you are not on one of our lists, now would be a good time to sign up for either flips, if there are still spots open, and or the feta or any other cheddar. Get on a list. Now is the best time to get first in line for that. So those are the dates. That's the best way that we know to be fair. That's why we're giving you guys a full week heads up. And Grant, we're going to hang out for a couple minutes. I want to brag on some of our community members and just share some success stories from past years. So there's you and Taylor on the left, outsourcing. Taylor is a goofy dude. We don't take ourselves too seriously. I do want to give some props. On the lower right is our good friend Ralph Cochran. And Ralph's been around our community for several years. He's one of the good guys. If you see him in the groups, he's always helping, always giving. One of those, he's in the same belief that there's abundance. He's very generous at this time. And I believe these are his video games. Was he doing Merchant Fulfilled with these from last year?
Yeah, he bought a lot of video games last year. We had a few did, but I believe those are his video games. Could be one other guy's, but I'm pretty sure those are his.
Yes. Quick sidebar here. John says that if you guys got questions, go ahead and start firing them to us. We'll hang out for a few minutes. Is flips a bonus on Black Friday? Why would I sign up now? So no, John, flips is not a bonus for Black Friday. The reason to sign up now is because we're giving early access to the Black Friday bundle to all of our customers first. So if you're already a customer of ours, you guys will get the first email. If you're not a customer of ours, it's a good way to get on one of the lists and get the early bird access. That's why. So
yep.
Cool.
Chunks is a bonus.
Chunks is a bonus. Yes. A bunch of rave reviews, man. On the left, Dawn had some really fun stuff last year. She said, I've officially tripled my November sales from last year, actually getting close to quadrupled. Still have a few days to go, so I'm feeling optimistic. And then Grant, at the bottom, you were chatting with her. So this is all real time that happens in the Black chat. And then in the middle, Dawn says she just hit her first $20,000 in sales month, thanks to the Cheddar. And that is a very common message we get from people. I just hit my first 20. I hit my first 30. I hit my first 40. We keep hearing these new milestones. So onwards and upwards. We got a bunch of other grave reviews here that came from the group. Again, you guys that are a part of Black Chat, you know the kind of community that gets fostered in there. We've got a couple moderators we're bringing on this year to add even more value to Black Chat. So it's going to be sweet. There's those eggs, the famous eggs. We'll see if they're popular this year. That's kind of a freebie for you guys. And the bottom there, I think that's Ralph also. Look closer to his video game sales. We've sold 102 so far. We have a lot more. So he's out there. And guys, Ralph, I like
that was Thursday night.
That was one night.
That was Thursday night.
That was one night.
Yeah.
Ralph's doing a lot of stuff. Ralph's doing retail ARB. Ralph's doing online ARB. Ralph's working on private label, and Ralph's got teams and systems. So learn from that. And then this message from Cliff, he said, we spent about 60 grand. You are right. I never thought we would spend that much so quick. Nothing less for Cyber Monday. Oh, well. So here's one of our members that, again, we outleaded the capital, and he had so much good stuff to buy that he burnt through his budget before Cyber Monday even hit. And quite frankly, that's kind of our goal. We want you guys sourcing early. We want you sourcing heavy. And that's why we're giving you guys these lists. And for those of you guys that sign up next Friday on the 11th, you're going to start getting leads trickling in starting immediately. So here's the Black Friday release, guys. Write that website down, oacheddar.com/Black Friday. Charles Hammer says, my Amex will let me buy 240. Okay. Other comments. Save these dates, guys. It's going to be next Friday, the 11th. 10 a.m. will be the early bird link for customers. You guys will get that in an email. And then the main group will drop a link in the main Facebook group Friday, October 11th, same day at 1 p.m. Central. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation for this evening. So Grant, I appreciate you putting this stuff together. If you guys have any specific questions about anything, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We'll hang out for just a couple minutes. I'm just looking at the clock, Grant. We're pushing on 2 hours for this webinar. I knew this would be a thick one, but we wanted to give you guys good stuff. Before we wrap up today, guys, Gary Spring says, great job. So ready. Awesome. What's been y'all's biggest takeaway from tonight? Okay. I asked this question earlier. I'm going to ask this as a closing question, and then we'll wrap up. What's one thing you pulled away? What's one thing you've learned tonight that you can implement So we started this intention, this journey together that we want to sharpen our saw, right? That's the Abraham Lincoln quote. If I had, we want to sharpen your saw. So what did you guys learn tonight? Ken says, thanks for all the great info. Jessica Sprague, thanks. Looking forward to it. Gary Springs says, great job. So ready. Clorinda, awesome. Thanks. Gary says, we're getting started early. So I think his biggest takeaway is to start now. Like Q4 has already started. So be sourcing now, be sourcing for that November 15th. You want to be sending stuff in by then to get it in for Black Friday. John says, people like pumpkin spice spam. Who would have known, right? I think it's funny too, man. I just got to laugh. Just because you sell stuff, it's like you sell stuff because people buy it. Sometimes it's crazy. I believe the list will sell out before they get open to me. So Karen, don't stress, Karen. There's gonna be something for everybody. Just be ready to act. So just be ready to act. And when the page opens, we've got an automatic timer on it, so it'll flip at the top of the hour. For those of you guys that are there early, y'all should have no problem. The people that are going to have a problem are the people in the group that sleep on it and come back to the offer like a week later, and then it will be sold out. So just be ready to act early. That's why we're giving y'all the heads up. Russ says, big appreciation here. Knuckles, Russ. Appreciate you, man. Digital pound. Bruce Finn, out with the old, in with the cheddar. Cheddar for president in 2020. We need some new leadership in this country. You guys know what I'm saying. It's a new turning of the tides. Nick, I'm not going to go political. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We got some kind of. Nick says, great job, Grant and Gabe. I learned a lot. I learned the abundance mentality. Awesome, Nick. I like that. Best comment I've read so far in the post show. So think abundant, guys. This is a skill. I forget what nugget that was. That was that number 3 that we dropped tonight. There's always more than enough. There's 2 kinds of entrepreneurs. There's the scarcity entrepreneurs that they focus on fighting for these little crumbs. And then there's the entrepreneurs that just look up a little bit higher above the horizon, and there's endless opportunity. Okay, right. Be that entrepreneur. Think bigger, think broader. That's why we are so transparent with these things. I don't personally believe, Grant, I could outgive our community. I mean, we can't out Grant. You can't share all your secrets. And it comes back to you, right? It all comes back to you. So Rosalind, let's see here. Let me back up here. Stephanie Cochran, much love to Cheddar. Much love to you, Stephanie Cochran. Grateful our paths have crossed this past year. Glad to have you in the group. Juan, very happy with Amazon Flips so far. So unsolicited testimonial for Flips. Thank you, Juan. Glad to have you in there. I've seen you've been active digging into Flips. Like to see that. Rosalind, thanks for an awesome, informative webinar. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Rosalind. Al Morris, appreciate the valuable info. Appreciate you, Al Morris.
How are we doing on YouTube comments? Do we have questions we should be answering on? Okay, good.
I got it pulled up here. I can see it. Nick says, don't forget rule number 8.
Whoops.
Nick, what's rule number 8? Remind me, because I made some of those up on the fly today. We're going to have the VA, Grant, we're going to have the VA go back and remind me what the 8 gold nuggets are. Well, I said that, guys, because I knew Grant and I, when we freestyle like this, we just like to share stuff, and things come up of what you guys need in the moment. So Gary says, need more video from Grant this year on RA/runs action. So there's a request, Grant, for more retail art. We've been in talks, actually, little birdie, of some more retail ARB stuff. We've been really quiet with the retail ARB stuff this year.
We need to leverage Taylor. He's got the skills.
Taylor's got the goods. Would you guys like to see more stuff from Taylor and Grant on retail arbitrage? Drop it in the chat. Nick says, don't copy from Grant's homework. So do copy Grant's homework. Copy Grant, right?
I hope that's what he's saying.
I hope he's saying copy you. Sandy Brooks, thanks for all your hard work. You're welcome, Sandy. Thank you. Nick's laughing. So very cool, guys. Great stuff as always. Save these dates. Last call to action, and we're going to wrap up. So next Friday is D-Day. It's really easy to remember. It's Friday, October 11th at 1 p.m. So 111. That's when the main group opens. If you are a Cheddar subscriber, y'all will get the link at 10 a.m., which is the same time that our normal emails go out. We'll most likely have a special email that'll go out, and it'll say something like, Black Friday leaked or something. It'll be really obvious. We'll make it very easy. So we already have people coming in and signing up for FETA. So I just want to encourage everybody, if you want first dibs, if you are worried about it selling out, which is absolutely possible with the amount of subscribers we already have, definitely go check out FETA.
or the flips. More leads isn't going to hurt you, and we gotta serve our customers first, our subscribers first. So
it's in your interest. And I'm gonna end on this, guys. I want to share one last behind the scenes story, and then we'll let you guys go for the evening. By the way, this is like my bedtime, dude. I got a 1-year-old. By 9 o'clock at night, I'm like my dad now. I've turned into my father officially.
Oh no.
I'm tired, bro. I'm bringing the heat for you guys tonight. Gary says later, guys, long live the cheddar. Hi, long live the cheddar. What was I going to share with you guys? Oh, well, we built this, guys. Let me share I'm going to just share a testament to our, Grant, one of our fearless leaders. When we built this offer, Grant came to me, and Grant's got a real emotional heart, guys. For those of you guys that don't know Grant on a personal level, he's got a huge heart. Like, he's a huge teddy bear. Loves people, loves the Lord, loves his family, loves to work hard. Like, that's who you are, Grant. And you came to me and said, dude, what do our customers need? Like, what do they need? How can we help them? And so that was the core answer when we designed this offer, right? When we designed this Black Friday package, it wasn't like, we said, how can we give you guys everything you'll need for the queue? And I said, well, first thing they need is leads. We got to give the best leads our industry has to offer. Grant's like, done, no problem. We'll do the Black Friday list, Cyber Monday list. We'll do a Q4 Cheddar chunk. We'll do the retail arbitrage list. And there's a little birdie that there may be like a secret unannounced bonus, another list that may be coming out. Okay. Some of y'all got that. Some of y'all didn't. Just like tons. We got to have the lead, number one. Number two, they got to have the training. We got to have some knowledge. That's why we're doing webinars like this for free in advance to get everybody prepared. And then inside of Black Chat, we'll be doing other trainings as well. We've got trainings prepared for pre-Black Friday, a couple of trainings prepared for pre-Black Friday to get you guys prepped for the season. So this whole thing is geared towards how do we serve you guys? Give you the leads, give you the knowledge. And then the third thing I said, well, Grant, if we're going to do that, we got to give them the community. You need to have, what's the third ingredient to success is people. You got to be around successful people. And this is the last success principle for today. So what number are we on? Is this like number 9?
Yeah.
I think this is number 9. Last success principle. If you want to get better results, you've got to be around successful people. Okay. So you've heard it said before, you are a combination of your top 5 closest friends. It's true. And if you want to build more wealth and see more prosperity and love and health and sex and all the good things of life, get around people who have those things and it rubs off on you. Maybe not the sex stuff, but the other stuff, right? The relationships, Grant's laughing. This is real talk, man. Get yourself some better friends. I look around my life now. We're experiencing some of the most prosperity, Grant, we've ever experienced in my career as an entrepreneur. I've been doing this game for like 13 years now. But I look at my friends, dude. My one good buddy owns 700 apartments up in Madison, Wisconsin. Like, he's financially free, doesn't have to work anymore. My other buddy owns another real estate business doing assisted living homes here in the north part of Chicago. Dude's financially independent. He's doing like $2 to $5 million raises to do new build stuff. Successful. You and I spend a ton of time together. Multiple 6-figure earner. You got a 7-figure business, and all this stuff is contagious. So get around good people. That's my pitch that's my last good nugget for tonight. Karen says, I just subscribed to Feta. Woohoo! So I'm going to be on the early bird list. So there you go, Karen. See, I like this. You asked the question earlier, I'm afraid I might not get on the list, and you took action and you got yourself to the front of the line. Right. Money loves speed. So hats off to you, Karen. How you do anything is how you do everything. So this is like a little breakthrough here, right? There's ways to shortcut. I've learned this, man, in life. No one's going to walk to the front of the line for you. Right? No one's going to walk. You got to do it for yourself.
Except for on Black Friday, when you bring a helper to the store, they're going to go to the front of the line for you and hold your spot while you go fill up carts.
Unless you got a helper named Taylor. Taylor will be in front of you. Right. He will be in front of you. So very cool, guys. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is our first webinar. We'll have another one for the group on Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that. If y'all are watching on YouTube, and for those of you guys that are not on YouTube, do us a favor, head over to the YouTubes, type in OA Cheddar, find the channel, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that little bell, post notifications, and drop some comments on our videos. Tell us you like them. We read those, and we're going to be dropping off more great training on that YouTube channel for the new year. So that's all for you guys. So do that. In the meantime, have an awesome night. We'll see you guys coming up. More good stuff to come. Grant, any closing thoughts, man?
Closing thoughts. I just appreciate everybody. It was really fun to have such a large group today and so much interaction. Thank you for interacting on the call, you guys. I look really forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday next week. and really just getting this thing launched and kicked off so we can start hanging out and vibing on the Black Friday game and the Q4 game. I'm super excited. And yeah, we'll see you then. We'll see you on the inside.
We'll see you there. oacheddar.com/Black Friday, peeps. Put it in your phone. Set a reminder. It's going downtown to Chinatown. This thing's going to be hotter than an iced tea in a hot porch in Georgia. I had a train there. I lost it. Anyways, all right. Love you guys. Grant, hey, thank you, man. Hats off to you guys, dude. We got to give props. Grant, our whole team, man. Our whole team's incredible.
Oh, dude.
We're going to be doing props for our whole team all weekend, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. So Taylor, Kishi, all of our team in the Philippines, Cindy, Clark. There's a small army that works behind the scenes for you guys tirelessly. So thank you to all you guys, because there's a lot of thankless work that goes on. You and I get the credit sometimes, but it's a team sport. So, hey, come back next Friday, guys. Mark your calendars for the 11th. It's going to be dropped, and then we're off to the races. So have a good night, everyone.
Here we go.
See you soon. I guess here, let me do this. Here we go. Stop the share. All right, here we go. Awesome night. After show. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Beautiful.
If you find that button, it'll be good night.
I know. Just keep smiling. Just keep it cheesing, dude. Sometimes maybe I found it already and maybe I'm not clicking it. Live from Chicago. That's right. You guys need to go to bed. You guys have been a good group. We got the best group on the internet. Can I just say it, Grant?
We do.
We got the best group. And we're going to be doing some new live stuff in the new year too, you guys. We got some big plans for Cheddar. Cheddar's just like this little budding community.
Absolutely.
I've got visions of little Cheddar communities, dude, being all across the country. Like little people getting together, just, breaking bread, just doing life together. And we got some new good stuff planned. Dude, I'm not even going to say our secret project for next year. I'm not going to say that. I'll save that for later. We got a whole top secret project called Project X that we're just not going to talk about yet for the new year. Just good stuff's coming. Just know the good stuff's coming. All right, dude. Have a good night, G. I'll see you.
You too, bro.